Oh yeah, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 6. Well, Episode 6, what is this called? The Price. The Price. It could also be called The Needs of the Few. Needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one, or the me. And I'm here today to talk all about this episode. I'm not alone. Of course I'm not alone. I'm doing this live. If you're listening to this later on, I'm doing this live, and I have with me some of the best, some of the beautiful, some of the most amazing, wonderful people in the world, the live blibbity blobbity chat. And with me tonight, we got John Haymaker, Jake, Jens. We got Loner Incognito. We've got a bunch of other friends in there. I'm scrolling through. We got Tanya. We got Mark. We got Mark. Don't rush that process, my friend. We've got Maddie. We got the wonderful Jackie C. We got Old Torf, our good buddy Old Torf. And we've got so many other friends that may pop in and out throughout the evening tonight. But I'm not alone as well. I have my co-host Joe Dirty Locks, who will be joining me at some point in a little bit. Joe, as we know, is joining us a little bit later, and I'm curious of his perspective on this episode. This was an interesting episode. Obviously, this was a slower moving type of episode that kind of brought all of the emotional stuff all in sort of one spot instead of littering it out through the season where you might see some of this stuff or other places for it. So, I mean, we'll have to break down if we all thought this was a great idea to put this all in one episode. It was great to see Pedro again. I thought there were some good performances in this episode and some good moments, but also this show is just horribly unbalanced for me. And I don't mean unbalanced like I'm unbalanced. I don't know if I'm going to be jumping around later, but I'm horribly unbalanced, as people know. No, you the man, and that's the problem. No, you're the man, Mark Houston, Loner. Oh, we got the wonderful, amazing Steph Snow. Thank you for the birthday wishes yesterday, Steph Snow. Celise Baratheon, perfect timing, just finished. I am so glad, and I'm so glad to be out here talking to you. And I apologize if my audio is a little soft as it's been. I'm trying to figure out, my computer's doing this auto correction thing where the volume is going down every time I turn it up. But I'm loud. I mean, people can hear me. Hi, I hope you can. I think you guys can. We got Monty G in the live chat, Steph Snow, Doc Kaiju, all of our good friends. Doc Kaiju, great episode tonight. Yeah, this episode was needed. The information that we got in this episode was very needed. There were some moments and some balances that I wish maybe were expressed in other episodes, but that's me being a little whatever. I'm sure Joe will have some more snuff in his uppercuts to be able to talk about this in relation to how it was presented in the game. But I thought, whoa, what's that sound? John Haymaker, you becoming a member just scared the living piss out of me. Like, seriously, it's wet down there for some reason. No one wants to hear that, but that's the God-honest truth. I mean, maybe I spilled a drink, but John Haymaker, that was amazing. Thank you so much for becoming a member and giving me a dime bag of support. We all know what you do with that. You crack that open, you roll that shit up, and you smoke that super chat right to the lungs of excitement. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you. Audio's better tonight. Thank you, Inglewood. It may be on a varying scale, but don't be afraid to tell me if my audio gets too loud or too soft. You know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go, excuse me, Mr. Phil. I know we're talking about The Last of Us tonight, but excuse me. Oh, by the way, we also have a voicemail line open right now, possibly a call-in line later, that you can leave your thoughts at 781-990-8509. I don't know why I got really quiet there, really slow, because I feel like I say the number too fast sometimes for the people that listen later. 781-990-8509. What's kind of cool about that is if you're watching this later, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, if you're at the bowling alley and you just like slipped and the bowling ball flew up in the air and bapped you on the head, and you get a thought about The Last of Us and you want to share it, call on in and leave us a voicemail. And we'll listen to it at a later date. Also, sometimes the chat moves by quick, or I'm a distracted little kitty cat. Wait, what's that over there? Meow. Meow. But, you know, sometimes I get distracted. So I may miss your chat that I want to mention. And if it's something really, you know, you can't wait to say, like Phil, we need you to shut up right now, feel free to text that number as well, 781-990-8509. And I'll get it. I mean, I might get it. I will get it. It will happen. It will be gotten. It's gotten. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. My birthday was yesterday. I'm 75 years old. It's amazing. It's incredible what they can do with digital stuff. Like right now I have this whole Snapchat face thing going on. It's like my face is like Ellie inside a astronaut's helmet. Was this the last episode that we'll see Joel in? I'm assuming this was Joel's big send-off episode. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him for a momentary lapse of reason here and there, everywhere. The dog's of war, the man of hate. Gosh knows we won't exterminate. But if you know, you know. But I do think we may bump into him maybe once or twice, see another flashback of him along the way that maybe we haven't seen yet. That's one of those things I'm curious to hear from Joe and some of the people in the live chat or that are watching later that have played the game, that if they think that would be more of a question Joe could answer more earnestly. I'm just going by, this seemed like a send-off episode for Pedro, but I'd be surprised if we don't see him one more time next season. Maybe even that they didn't shoot maybe one last scene for him in some sort of way. Every time I thought I was going to see the last of Walter White, he shows up in some sort of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul situation. Oh my. The Englewood Rose, I love you. Moni G, you're amazing. Thank you, everyone. Phil's shirtless is still wet from crying earlier. Yep, it is. I'm sorry. There we go. Evening. I look great for 75. Thank you so much. I don't look a day over 3,000. I'm working on becoming more decrepit day by day. Day by day, night by night. Is Lazy Mac VJ. Great name. Lazy Mac is Lazy Mac. Laz Mac DJ. VJ. If only this was the second episode. Someone else said something about that too. If this was an earlier episode, this would have been more beneficial. And I can absolutely understand that. That's where I say that this show, it's not bittersweet isn't necessarily the right term for it. But when it does something good and then it will screw something up in the presentation of it. We were talking about that a little bit last week with the spore stuff. I love how they presented to us the spores. I thought that was an interesting way of doing it. As someone that hasn't played the game and hasn't seen it, I felt like it was presented to me in a way that didn't make me feel like an idiot and also explored that thought with me. I thought that was similar in this episode. I feel like that was sorry, this chat's distract me. I thought it was similar in this episode where I like everything that we got tonight. I like it, but maybe if I'm being super picky and I'm thinking about presenting this whole season, I'm thinking about presenting. If I'm thinking about, excuse me. No, if I'm thinking about presenting myself or presenting the whole season in the best possible way to make it the most engaging television possible could be, some of this stuff might have been able to be sprinkled about. But that being said, there was a lot of really good scenes. I mean, you had Pedro's a really awesome actor, and he had some awesome moments in this scene, and so did Ellie, and I like the alternate perspective from the scenes that we've already seen, and some of the flashback stuff was cheesy and good in the best possible way. So I thought a lot did work in this episode. It's the wedding singer thing. That's information that would have been helpful yesterday. That kind of thing. But maybe I'm just being a dude. I'm going to get that VFW Warlord. I always say that. VF Warlord forever. VFW Warlord. VFW Warlord. My good buddy from the Better Call Saul days. This episode automatically gets a pass, as Tony, I can't even say pass. This gets a pass. Or this episode is already exploited, propelled into the upper echelon of television. Because it has Lalo Salamanca in it. You bring me some Lalo Salamanca and anything. You sprinkle me some Tony Dalton. Could be wrong about the name. I'm going by memory. I didn't look it up. If you give me some Tony Dalton and some shit, I'm a happy lad. I'm dancing the sweet jig. I don't know what the sweet jig is, but I know what music I'd play to it, right? Like, I don't know what it is, but I mean, this is the music I'd dance to it, right? Lalo Salamanca, Lalo is back. Even in our little scene, and Lalo's going to give his kid a smack. I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny. I'm not funny. None of this is funny, but it is appropriate because Lalo is awesome. And I love Tony Dalton. He's a great actor and he's fun. He's one of those guys kind of like Garrett Dillahunt that just brings a little extra something to every single performance he's in. He's got so much charisma that just jumps off the screen. And I love him. And I loved seeing him. And I'll talk all about him when we get to his scene. And I might talk all night just about Lalo Salamanca because anything is to get those happy memories. Okay. Okay. We had Ralphie in this episode too. Ralphie made an appearance. So I mean, guest appearances, like this episode killed it. Like just for the guest appearances alone, I have to give this episode its flowers. I was gonna say give it a box of chocolates. I'm not Forrest Gumping it. Listen, episode, this episode is like a box of chocolates. Sometimes you get something good and sometimes you get something crap. Sorry, I lost the Forrest script there for a second in the middle. I'm like, nah, no one wants to hear me say this whole thing in the Forrest Gump voice. It's like Christian Bale saying good dialogue in the Batman voice. Joker, and everything in your life. I know you're doing all this good acting and I'm trying to. I don't want to do the Forrest Gump voice that long. But it was good seeing Lalo. Kelly Johnson, thank you so much for becoming a member. Phil, what is it going to take to resurrect the Game of Thrones franchise from the damage done by House of Dragon? I think for Night of the Seven Kingdoms to exist onto itself and exist as its own property, they need to stop relying on previous Game of Thrones situations to create success in future ones if they want to do, because everyone has a sour taste in their mouth. So you got to do something completely new. Ramon Carter says Pedro elevates Ellie's acting never seen. I agree, Ramon. Great point. Super chat. I'm going to take a drink for you. I feel like their chemistry adds to her. She has more connection with him. And speaking of connections, speaking of love, speaking of whatever, we have with us the one and only Joe Dirty Locks. Give me a second to situate Joe here. I hear him hissing in the background. There he is. There's Joe. Camera. Oh. Joe, welcome to the show. I see if people want to watch Joe, check out Dirty Issues Gaming. He's starting to play The Last of Us Part 2 again, and he did some streaming today. You can see a link to that on the YouTube page. I shared it in the community tab. But okay, this episode, Joe, much more of a laid-back, emotional type flashback episode. Did it get you in the feels? Was it frustrating that they didn't give you this stuff earlier? What are your What is your response to this episode?
This episode, all of this stuff, we don't get Joel's dad.
Okay, that's new. I kind of like that. I like the Joel's dad thing.
I thought it was unnecessary. It didn't hurt anything.
Do you know why
didn't hurt anything?
I liked it because you got Lalo Salamanca. You got the Better Call
Lito's agent.
Yeah, you got him there.
The swordsman.
Yeah, he can be in anything. I don't care. It's like bringing Christopher Walken in to talk about a watch up his ass. You can just bring Lalo and put him in any movie you want.
He plays Lito's agent in Sense8. He plays the swordsman in the new Daredevil.
Yep.
He plays.
He's awesome in the new Daredevil.
Lalo in Breaking Bad.
Better Call Saul. Same one.
Better Call Saul. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I consider it one big show too as well.
But he's a very talented man. I was happy to see him. It's not that. Here's the thing. This whole episode I thought was packaged really well.
Yes,
it was tight. It works. There's a lot. What's that?
I was just gonna say you're tight. Keep going.
There's a lot of things that happen in this episode that are ripped straight from the game. Some small changes that I actually like more. We'll get into those at the recap part. But for the most part, the opening with the dad there and grandpa, whatever, I feel like it's
it was more of that unnecessary two on the nose thing for you.
No. Here's the thing. I said to myself, this is definitely added by
Craig
Manzin, right?
Mr. Craig.
There's no doubt, because ultimately the story doesn't need it. We have enough from the first game, or we should have had enough from the first season, and enough from the beginning of the second game, where Joel's character, that he died with his daughter in his fucking arms. We don't need to see that he's been playing the savior complex since he was a fucking in high school.
When his
right?
when
Like,
Tommy tried to buy some weed. Tommy, why are you buying weed?
Like there's
They needed more weed in the show, Joe. They need to do another.
That just feels like they didn't do a good enough job showing us his character in the last season and a half, where they had to, again, here it is for you, audience. If you didn't know, this is him. It's always been him. No growth, no change. like honestly, that's kind of the way it feels to me. But like I said, I did like it.
Yeah, the performances were all awesome tonight.
Right? Like, and he's giving his, like, the cop cracks his kid a beer. And then I'm like, well, you know, it's 1983. It is Texas. It might be an 18 drinking age there in 83.
Oh, no, that kid's like 14. It's 13.
Right, but it's not as egregious as if it was a 21.
Yeah, I guess.
And he was 15. No, the other kid, I think, was like 14. Right? He's like 16.
How old
17,
were you when you
18.
took your first sip of beer? Or when Papa let you take a sip of beer?
So I don't even think it was Papa, but it happened in my driveway, and it was Lila's boyfriend, Rocky. I think my dad was there at the time, but I actually don't think that was my first sip. But I remember the first beer I was given to me by Eric Goodwin's older brother, half older brother, in their driveway. There was a bunch of us. He was drinking a 6-pack behind his garage.
For me, I stole a Budweiser from Scott, and I hated it. I was like, I'm never drinking beer ever. It's shit's
it was gross. It was nasty.
It's fucking nasty, dude. It was the grossest shit in the world. I wish
I had a beer.
Yeah. Next week, we're gonna make sure you have some drinks for the season finale. Let's go in the live chat for a second before we get into our run around here. Is Lazy Mac says, I keep saying Lazy Mac, but it's Laz Mac. I kind of need to refresh, though. I can barely remember season 1, weed. I was like 5 when my dad slipped me a beer, 5 years old. Also, why did Joel look like a Jonas brother when he was young? Joel keeps it real. Joe, is that a Maine Coon cat?
No, she's a tiny little girl. She's a fluffy cat for sure. But I don't believe she's a Maine Coon.
It's just the hair. The hair is big.
Yeah. She's tiny under that fucking fluff.
Kelly Johnson adds, thank you so much for another super chat, Kelly. You are amazing. Thank you so much for all the support you give me and Teflon TV. Phil, Pedro still eating off his Oberyn roll in Game of Thrones. Pedro is he got a high off his Red Viper roll from Game of Thrones. It like the rocket ship in the Museum of Science in this episode. It blasted off, and he is riding that coattails. He like got a second rocket boost. Like in those video games where you're flying and like you lose your propeller and you have to like run into another like weapon that makes you go faster again. It's like on the Mario Kart, on the Excite bike, like going over the arrows and zip, zip, zip. It's like he found another one with the Mandalorian, and then found another one with this and another one with that. He's on a pretty crazy high that you haven't seen in a while with like big franchise to big franchise to big franchise. But it is kind of all coasting off the Game of Thrones thing, and then his success in Narcos too. But it does come from his success in the Viper.
The job he did as the Red Viper was in Game of Thrones, Oberyn Martell, was fantastic. He's him and the Mountain both stole
season 4
that episode.
Oh yeah. In some ways, I think he stole season 4, and he's one of the few people that sort of, again, bit and stole minutes from Tyrion when he was in scenes with Tyrion in Tyrion's best season. And I think 4 was Tyrion's best season. Anyways, but Pedro is super hot right now. Sonic says Joe looks like Dr. Evil and Mr. Bigglesworth right now. Unbelievable, Jack. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's not waste any time, Joe, just because it's this episode we're already kind of talking about the opening segment here. Anyway, I can't do the usual kind of crazy recap, so we'll do a different kind of recap tonight, Joe. Do a different kind of recap. We'll do recap. We'll do slow motion recap. Recap. No, I'm kidding. I gotta jump around. Get it. Here we go. Recap. Oh, I was asking for that, Joe.
Big kisses.
I was asking to go down one of these times. The problem, and why I was about to say that I wasn't going to do the normal recap jump around, is I'm in socks where I usually wear shoes, and I just slid right as I got, and then, like, I don't need any help, Joe. I don't need any help to hurt myself. But I did play into it. Like the initial fall, like if that was like a normal situation, I would have held on together.
Oh, you're cutie. That's a message from my kitty.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, was that intentional? Was that you saying you wanted to get out of the podcast? You're like, Phil, could you stop?
Nope, she was stepping on the keyboard. I don't know for how long.
Phil, could you stop jumping around like that? But yes, I kind of went with the slide. I didn't quite go full risky business there.
Risky business.
Yeah, it wasn't quite risky business. It was more like risky business mixed with Gilligan.
Risking my ass.
Yeah, risking Gilligan or some shit like that. We got Jay SM down in the live chat. Great to see Jay. Great to see Lou. Great to see Lou. Great to see John motherfucking Haymaker. And that recap is fun. Nothing gets the party going like an F auto. We might get it. I might give you an F auto in a second. Let me try to find a place for it. As I mentioned during the recap, the voicemail line will be on. If you want to leave us a voicemail, 781-990-8509. We'll get to those after the recap, and then we'll open the phone lines if anyone wants to call in at the end here. And let's get into this recap, Joe. So we open up to two kids. We already talked about the scene, but I'll zip through it quick, and then we'll see if we missed anything. We open up to the scene. There's two kids, Joel and Tommy, right away. You kind of know who it is. Joel is being a good big brother and taking the heat.
He's talking to his little brother about not getting the belt. Now, and for those of you who aren't Gen Xers, who might be younger than that, the belt is a thing that us kids got.
Used to get.
Us Gen Xers got as a kid when we were bad. We didn't get grounded. We didn't get put on punishment.
We got the belt.
We just got belted.
Also, synonymous with the belt would also be the wooden spoon.
The wooden spoon.
I got the wooden spoon. I got wooden spoon.
Cutting board. Yeah. Or the shoe.
For me, it was wooden spoon. For me, it was always the wooden spoon. It was
the chopping block. We had this like wood handled, like 1.5-inch thick chunk of wood. That like, yep. Mom would come at us with that. Dad gave us the belt once.
Now, Joe, we got another super chat. Give me a second to get
deserving, but you know.
We got a super chat from Brian Holiday. He says, thank you so much, Brian, for that super chat. It means a lot. Could anything have changed if the Fireflies explained what was going to happen when Ellie and Joel got to the hospital? It happened so fast. Do you think there would have been a difference if Ellie in the moment could have responded in the moment to be like, I want this to happen right now?
Yeah, no. And that's just the thing. Like, whatever you say, Ellie, they didn't tell Ellie, I don't think.
I don't think they did either.
Like, we're going to have to kill you in order to extract this cure. And in the game, it makes it very clear that it's not a guarantee that they're going to be able to do curing or make a vaccine or some sort of, like, any kind of thing. It's just, we can't do it through just taking bits of it. So we're going to have to vivisector and take it all and see what we can do.
Yeah,
like that's basically how it comes out in the game.
Yeah, we want to take kind of a crapshoot, take a flyer on this, and the only way we could even possibly get a chance on it is if we cut into you. Kelly Johnson says, Phil and Joe, will we ever see that Game of Thrones energy again for Song of Ice and Fire, we'll see it for another TV show. I don't know if Song of Ice and Fire will grasp that again, but you never can tell. And let's get back in. We got a lot of scenes were really deep. This is what you get my house. Yeah, when you spill paint. This is what you get when you spill paint in my house. Oh, Gecko, great to see Gecko in the live chat. I haven't seen your face in a while. Andrew, I have the oversized ping pong paddles with holes in it to make it more aerodynamical. Space Ghost.
Apparently he was in a fraternity.
Space Ghost. Ellie on pain meds meme en route, and also with her head in the space helmet as well. Okay, so we open up and keep the questions coming all night, everybody. We'll catch up every once in a while on the chat when we take breaks scene to scene. But our first scene, again, we talked all about this. Joel is being a good brother. Joe, as someone that does not have a brother, what percentage of your brothers would do something like this for your older brothers? Would do something like this for you? Of your two older brothers, which percentage of them would do something like this for you?
My honest take.
Yeah, honest take.
Martin throws me under the bus and goes straight to Dad and says, "Yo, Joe was buying marijuana and doing weird shit down at the tracks or whatever." My brother Ben doesn't say anything, but doesn't take the blame. He just wants to save his own ass.
Fair.
Me, I'm the one in the family
that's taking the blame. Yeah.
You've seen me do it at plenty of party,
especially
when plenty of cops have shown up. You remember when the police, when we got pulled over, I was like, "It's all mine."
Yeah. No, you've seen me do similar.
Driver didn't smoke shit.
You've seen me.
And you guys followed suit, right?
No, and you've seen me do similar stuff. You know, I don't have.
I fucking take the fall. I went to a football camp in New Jersey. I'm from Boston. I went to a football camp in New Jersey, my sophomore year of high school.
Dude, you're from Boston? I don't believe you. You're not from fucking Boston.
It was Dave Meggett and Lawrence Taylor's offense-defense football camp.
New York Giants.
And it was at a university on Long Island, and I went to it. It was 2 weeks, and at the end of the second week, I got hurt really bad. But the night before the last day of camp, the last day of camp is when I got hurt, and I had to be on a plane.
The Last of Us day of camp? Oh, sorry.
Yep. And
sorry, that was bad.
All the kids in the dorm on my floor, on the third floor of this dorm building, were like throwing trash and open like full soda cans out the window at the pathway to make them pop and everything. So me and my roommate, we joined in, right? And after about 20 minutes of this, the length of the entire dorm building, the path was littered with shit, right? It was not just my room. But when the camp people or the campus people came in, they came straight to our door first and banged on our door. When I opened the door, I was like, it was me. It was all me. I was the only kid in that fucking dorm that got in trouble for this shit. So they made me clean up the path. They threatened to send me home, but like they were like, well, if we kick him out, we're basically telling him he's got to go sit at the airport.
So the moral of
like 12, 16 hours.
Moral of the story is Joe is Joel. Joe is gonna murder you and tell you to look at the flowers.
But no, okay. if you're my shit buddy, if you're my family, there's no lengths I won't go to protect you.
I am with you on that one, Joe. So 1983, Austin, Texas. The cop comes home. It's Lalo motherfucking Salamanca, Tony Dalton, and I don't think I've ever heard that story, Joe. In the billion years we've been friends, I'm not sure if I've ever heard that story.
I've told it to you at least once.
I don't know. I mean, I've smoked a lot of weed, so I accept that I've forgotten it.
And then the next day during scrimmage, I was playing center, and the quarterback, I think, purposely.
Okay.
Like I said,
here comes Joe's conspiracy theories.
Like I said, I was the only kid in the whole fucking dorm to get in trouble, and I was catching a lot of fucking remarks from other kids that weren't on this floor. A lot of fucking remarks about how much of an asshole I was for causing all that mess and shit. And that day, the quarterback missed the fucking the hike, and the defensive tackle dove into the side of my leg, and I was in an air cast for like 6 weeks at the beginning of that summer. Sucked.
Yeah, it ruined Joe's chances at pro. And Dad and
something else ruined my chances at pro.
So Dad is like, no. Tommy was buying the weed all day. You walked by and saw it and started punching him. And Joel's like, Dad, you're not fucking hurting my little brother. And Dad laughs, and he appreciates the toughness there, and he goes and gets him a beer, and he gives it to the kid and tells him a story about stealing a candy bar and about his dad breaking his jaw and his mouth was wired for 2 months straight. It was humiliating. And he's like, dude, I might hit you guys, but I don't go that far. I do better than my dad, and when it's your turn, I hope you do better than me. So basically, they created this scene to set up what I assume is a scene from the game with Ellie and Joel to kind of just give it to you, like give it to you spoon-fed, to kind of give it to you. This is where he got it from. And I get why you're like, maybe it was unnecessary, but it doesn't bother me. it's again more the placement. This is
Yep.
this is something that might have been cool last season, and then you come back with this year when he says this to Ellie, and then it's completely full circle, and you're like, oh yeah, Joel said that. And in your second watch, you're like, oh my goodness, he said that earlier to him, and then it's more of like
it
a
would have
discovery.
been good if it pulled it from season 1.
Yeah, something in season 1.
Rather than like, honestly, it feels like, oh, we wrote this really good thing, you'll do better or whatever. Let's see if it it just felt too handed to us.
No, fair, and I just
I
for
think
me,
you're
it's
right, Phil.
For me, it's timing. I think you give me this episode, that scene.
I want to remember this from last year.
Right.
I want to remember it in my memory like it's Joel, like Joel remembers it in his memory.
Yep.
I don't want to have to remember it from like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was 30 seconds ago.
That was there. Exactly.
I remember that from 5 minutes ago. Okay. All right. I remember that. No, but like a callback, a throwback to last season where like you got a little tidbit of Joel's character last season.
Yep.
And then you get this. Like, yes, absolutely.
Some sort of completion. So then you're like, oh, do you know what that is? I know Noah had one too, but arcs are kind of good. You know what?
Arcs, yes.
Noah had. We got Tony.
Like let us call that back. Don't hand us the.
And that's the thing, Joe.
It almost feels Family Guy.
Things. No, don't go there.
like that time when Dad used to beat us with the belt.
I need manatees to pick balls out of holes and decide what happens in the scene. I think that you just said it, and it's true. The more you discover something as a viewer, the more those moments feel rewarded while you're watching. And so you give that to the audience in that moment to feel like, oh my gosh, fucking oh my gosh, that you really just feel.
That sounds familiar.
And you really discover fucking oh my gosh.
I remember hearing that somewhere before.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you meant fuck oh my gosh, but yeah, exactly.
It plays much better that way, Phil. Absolutely.
Let's go into the live chat for a second. We got Tony Pajamas.
And none of that's in the game.
Yeah, and that
flashback is not in the game.
It shows. Tony Pajamas, great to see you. Yes.
So before we get any further, you remember my predictions for this episode, right?
Pain? No, what was it?
It was we were going back to the Paleontolic age and into space.
Yes, and we did.
And we would go back to the porch.
Yep. Yeah, we did. And we're going to get to all of that in a little bit. Lalo has a softer punch than his dad, says John Haymaker. But Space Ghost coming live from Winthrop in the live chat. Great to see we get our neighbor. We got the one and only, the amazing Walking David. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Walking David in the live chat, our good, amazing buddy out there. Season should have been like 12 episodes. Yes. Pick the balls out of a hole. Okay, so he's like, dude, I may hit you too far, and he cries. And it's a good scene. He gives some Joel a little love on the way out. Like, I appreciate you protecting your
At least
brother.
I ain't breaking your jaw.
Yeah, at least I ain't sending you to the hospital and embarrassing you. Oh my goodness, peanut butter. Did they eventually find?
It sounds more like the words out of the mouth of someone who knows that he would be embarrassed again if he broke his own son's jaw as a cop.
I didn't hear no bell, Joe. I didn't hear no bell. Fuck it. Give me the fucking shit. We got Antoine Thomas. Thank you for the text message. Oh my god, Bella freaky in his pants. Oh my goodness, hands in the pants, ants in the pants, ants in the pants. Oh my goodness, fuck Otto. It's a hot hour tonight. It's a hot hour tonight. Fuck Otto. That's not appropriate for this show. Stop it. Okay, so sorry, I had to try to fit it in somewhere. So Joel gets a little love on the way out from his dad. I mean, I think he's giving him the love for protecting the brother. You got to appreciate that. You got to, for whatever it's worth. I know it's on the nose, but in that moment, but. I don't know. Someone said the kid that they got to play Joel looked like a Jonas brother, and I did kind of get that kind of vibe. He did not look like a Jonas brother. I'll say that. But anyways, so they're in a bar. It's Joel in Wyoming. He's talking to Seth, who's Chuck Bass's dad for Gossip Girl fans. If anyone wants to really date back, it's also the guy who plays Seth in the game. What played Chuck Bass's dad on Gossip Girl.
I'm not remembering the scene.
Are you in the TV show Gossip Girl?
Oh, I never watched
Oh,
Gossip
so
Girl.
why would you know? Like, in this scene, Joel talks to his. This is when he orders the cake. Joel comes into Wyoming. He sits there. He's like, Seth.
Oh, right.
He found some balloons from our buddy Nick, and he gives him he gives him a drink, and
He needs something else. Don't worry.
Yeah, Chuck Bass sucks.
He got a lot of it.
Chuck was horrible to Blair, and gets a drink and gets some backstory about Seth. He needs something for tomorrow, and he needs one more thing, and we get Joel sneaking around making something. It's a guitar. It's cool. He does a cool head. He uses a Dremel.
He uses a Dremel, a really handy tool.
Dude, that was awesome. The fact that they went that far, like, because
it brings him back to the handyman.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a construction guy.
Plus, I feel like I've had that conversation with Elia. I feel like when Elia got a Dremel, he's like, it's the greatest thing of all time.
I'm gonna make so many bongs out of everything.
Yep. Antoine, he was both good and horrible to Blair. We'll have a Gossip Girl. I got to do a Gossip Girl podcast for even if it's just Jackie C, Antoine, and myself. We'll do it right there. Happy birthday, Ellie. Do you like The Walking Dead more than The Last of Us? The Walking Dead at its best. Do I like The Walking Dead at its best better than The Last of Us TV show at its best? Yes. Do I like The Walking Dead?
I mean, that's not much. That's like 2 seasons at most.
It's not a fair comparison.
The Walking Dead at its best.
No. This is a different conversation. I would say The Walking Dead is at its best for about 5 seasons.
It's good.
Can we not talk about The Walking Dead? It depresses me right now.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to tell you.
But no. Honestly, at its best, yes, that.
But what you're saying is The Walking Dead is never as good as it is in its first season. Is what your argument is essentially.
First 2 seasons, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
And I think it ends with the illusion kind of gets cracked for me at the end of season 2 when Herschel and his magic fucking shotgun with 1,000,000 fucking rounds in it.
Yeah, for me, I don't mind the ridiculousness up to the point that they get to Alexandria. I think the show should have ended when they got to Alexandria and then spin-off start there. The last cool thing was Rick biting the guy's face off. But I think The Last of Us it's also not a fair comparison when you're comparing 2 seasons to 17,852 seasons with spin-offs. It's like it's just not a fair one-to-one.
But here's the thing. What I'll tell you is this. The Last of Us video game
is better than all.
Hands down better than everything in this subject matter of zombies or infected or any of that.
But do you know what's not better? I don't know how to transition this back to the recap. So Tommy shows up with Ellie, and she's hurt, and she burned herself, and she smelled it, and it smelled like pork. Ellie wanted to wear short sleeves again, so she burned the scars from the bite she got. And they comfort her. She wakes up all bandaged, and she has a cake, and it says Eli. Joel's all cute in this scene, getting plates, and she just digs her hand in. This was just all very cute stuff. I don't know, but this seems like this is all fucking from the game. And he goes, no, it was cute.
No, that isn't from the game, but it was good.
The Walking Dead ended with the death of David's channel. Yes, David, that's true. And then he goes and gets the guitar, and again, kind of cute scene between the two of them. Gets the Dremel. We already talked about this cool tool. He's gonna teach her a little bit how to play the guitar, and she says, "It's my birthday. I want you to fucking play something." And she makes him sit down there and play a song, and he plays. It's a song called "Future Days." I believe it's a Pearl Jam song.
Pearl Jam. That's what it said on my captions. At the
bottom. Your things. I don't have mine turned on. Do you know why I don't have mine turned on? Because it's really weird, stupid. They're showing basketball games on HBO now, and I cannot watch any basketball when they're doing the play-by-plays, like the words popping up on the screen.
So, no, they only get like one in like 10 words, right?
Yeah, and it's blocking the action, so I shut it off, so it wasn't on. But yeah, I don't know this song by Pearl Jam, but like I've heard it before. But is this in the game where he plays this song for her, Joe?
Yeah. Yes. If I ever were to lose you. Thought it was an original though of his. It's not. Or maybe is it 2 different songs?
Antoine Thomas says Ellie should be dressed up playing a guitar for you, Joe. Oh, Joe, how many Where would Natalie Dormer fit in your lady? Chuck was good to Blair. Oh my goodness, Antoine, you're as you always. You're making me smile and laugh. The guitar song made me tear up, Queenly. I have to say, for a couple times this episode did get me emotional. There was one point towards the end of the episode that actually really did get me. There was a line read that got me. Excuse me. So he plays this song. If ever to lose myself, make this man of me, blah blah blah, stolen parts, not anymore. I believe Ellie is loving this. I think the emotional part was Ellie's reaction to it and seeing Joel sad. And this was something that we didn't need to be told, but he's thinking about his real daughter when not his.
No, he's thinking about. I don't think he is.
You don't think he's thinking? You think he's actually?
No, not at all. He's thinking about Ellie.
He's thinking about
absolutely
him and Ellie's future.
Yes. He's not thinking about his daughter. His daughter's in the past. Like, for Joel, like, he tried to kill himself, they say in the show here, right? And he wasn't successful. And that was kind of like, he didn't follow through afterwards. Like, the shit in the past is in the past for Joel. If you're alive, like Tommy is, that things matter. Like Ellie is, things matter. Like Tess was until she wasn't anymore, things matter. Right? Like I feel like that it's Joel thinking about Ellie and only Ellie.
No,
which is like that becomes evident by the end of this episode.
Very, very fair, Joe. Very good point. Walking David says Uncle Grumpy is family. He forms into a tree ball to save the world. Queenly says I might change my name to Queenie. This is Casanova's. I like it. I think he's thinking of his daughter and Ellie. Says Jackie C.
No, he's not thinking about his daughter at all.
Nice.
He is thinking about his daughter Ellie.
Space Ghost says, nice twist seeing Joel's perspective during it. John Haymaker says they played Nirvana in the first episode. I haven't seen the Dunkin' Egg trailer yet, Jackie C, but I look forward to watching it later tonight or when I'm done here. When we're done here. I thought the same thing. Okay, so he understands. He also turns to her. He says, I understand why you did what you did with your arm, and happy birthday, kiddo. And after he sings, she says, well, that didn't suck, and he hands her the guitar. And the whole scene's very somber, knowing obviously what happens to him later. 1 year later, it's a dino, and they're walking around heading to her next birthday gift, and she's trying to guess what it is. She's like, "Is it a dinosaur? Is it a lotter? What she got? A lotter of kittens?" And he's like, "No, it's a litter." And
yeah.
And Jackie C is learning the proper way to deal with Joe.
This is
just say fine, Joe. Fine, whatever. Jackie C just like, okay, I know how to do.
Well, here's the thing.
You just have to say fine.
If I ever were to lose you, right? Like he already lost his other daughter.
No, fair. No, I am accepting that you were right on this one. This isn't me being wise ass.
But all this other stuff, the lotter of kittens, like. This trip to the museum, this is all, and I don't think the lauder part was. I don't remember that specifically.
It was a cute line,
but
though.
Like her asking about, is it this? Is it that? Is it this? It's all in the show, in the game. And again, she's younger than what she is in the show here.
Yeah, and he's leading her somewhere in the woods. He's trying to get her to be a kid, like just kind of being like, you need to be a kid sometimes. You can't go on patrols yet, all this sort of stuff. And then he starts talking to her about boys and asking her about like, do you know about the boys and the bees? And she kind of laughs at him when like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, boys.
Penises and vaginas.
Is that what you're talking about? He's like, oh. And they walk through and they find a fucking dinosaur, Joe. There's a fucking T-Rex in the woods at the front of a museum, some sort of museum of science of some sort.
Yep.
And she climbs on the back of a motherfucking dinosaur, and he's
on top of the world, man.
Yeah. She's like Leonardo.
Zuzu's pedals.
Who the fuck is Zuzu Pedals anyway? It's so funny that you say that. Last night I randomly quoted Adventures of Ford Fairlane. I was talking about the man-to-man mano-y-mano scene, like being the funniest thing Dice ever said. Like when he's like, man-to-man mano-y-mano. What the fuck does mano-y-mano mean anyway? You dumbass. Snap ahead. Fuck you. Like when he gets him to Freddy Krueger to drop the knife.
Uh-huh.
So she sees a museum and she climbs to the top of it. And he's like, if you don't fall off the goddamn dinosaur, I'll take you to the museum. And they head in. The planet thing, crank thing works. Where I assume that's something you can do in the game. Like you can actually crank the planets in the game. And
So, hold on.
it's cute. And they go and jump into Apollo 16, and they fly up in a spaceship. And it's really
And
fun.
okay. I got a little aside here. I at my work
I thought you were gonna
got
tell a childhood story about how you went to the Museum of Science and you took the blame for something. Like
no.
someone else broke
At,
something and
this
Joe
is
took the
this
blame.
is this is kind of funny, right? So, at my work, I got funded.
Excuse me.
I had to write a proposal, and I got funded to turn a room into a sensory room on my unit at work. And I had to design the whole thing, and I had to like basically build the whole thing and buy all the materials for it and all this shit. And one of the things I did is I had them do I think it's called I can never remember the name of it. It's like Tucson or some sort of like name like that, of like the way they painted the walls blue, really, really darker blue, almost white up top, but like darker blue as you go down, and then like sorry, lighter, darker blue on the bottom and lighter as you go to the top. And I put all these like almost rooms like glass mirror gems, hundreds of them all over the fucking ceiling. And I'm watching after the thing right before I got down here. I was saying bye to Katie to come downstairs, and I hear them talking about the velvet walls and all the rune stones and how proud they were that the hallway looked like the stars. And I'm like, motherfuckers, you got paid to do that? You came in with a bunch of rune stones from the dollar store, and like, how much money is this guy making? I did the same fucking thing to this room
For $62.50 from Home Depot.
right? Like, what the fuck?
White to blue.
What is my calling? I should have been a set designer.
I might take you up on that at some point. I mean, you are a natural artist, Joe. That's cool, Joe. Sounds like you're in healthcare or behavioral health. He is in behavioral health. Phantom D saying, I wonder did Joe, or healthcare as well. I wonder did Joe quit the show due to how they changed shit again? No, but he hasn't quit. He's still watching. Great to see Phantom D saying in the live chat. Great to see so many old friends, so many new friends, and it's wonderful. We also have a trivia question in there. It's did deep episode. You were moved? Like I said that shitty. I should have said were you moved? But writing is not my strong suit. And we have yes, are you moved? My butt was moved. Boring. Meh. It was okay. Hit or miss. Or find your question stupid. Phil. All are appropriate answers, especially my question being stupid. So yeah, she's a kid. She breaks. This is the coolest part, like being a kid, and I thought they did a good job. One of the weaknesses of the show is also a strength. She can play a kid really easily. Like when she's supposed to play younger than she actually is, she's very believable. Like if she had to go film those Game of Thrones little bear scenes again right now, she could pull them off. Yep. You know, with enough set decoration. It's harder to make her look more rugged, like the 5-year difference. But so like her kind of reawakening her childhood in the museum, I thought she played that stuff pretty earnestly, and like especially when she put the helmet on her face, it was very Disney Channel, but it was still cute. It was like
all of this is in the game too.
Yeah, it was very cute. It seemed like it was very very genuine.
And you get to explore the museum too in the game. Like you get to go read all the dinosaur plaques. There's like some Easter egg shit in there, and you get to play with the planets, and you get to go into
and you get to blast off in the spaceship.
Yeah,
and all that
you get the cassette tape, all of it. It's all there. Yep. This is the flashback scene from the game where you learn a lot about what happens.
And you feel like this is one of those examples why I feel like this show is like bizarro land sometimes, of like hit and miss lands, that this whole scene was very well represented from what you loved about the video game version of it. You found this segment, the museum segment, was a good representation, good to screen version of the game.
Basically, it's almost
for beat.
Exact. Yeah.
And side note, I was watching the end of the episode. Let's lick each other's labias about how amazing we were and suck each other's balls. about how amazing we were after the episode. When they were working on the second game, they were already scouting out the first season. And Craig came to the studio where they were working on the second game, and he showed him on a PlayStation like that scene, that part of the game, and was like here's this part of the game, get ready for it. And they both turned to each other and goes, this needs to be exactly this way on the show.
Yeah, bullshit. Of course it does, because like
everything
this is
does.
One of the big cutscenes.
Everything does. Why
like
can't
so far you can bet your ass almost anything that's new came from Craig Manzin and not Neil Druckmann, and almost everything that's new that has been added is unnecessary and takes away from precious fucking screen time to have told the story the way it was supposed to be told, the way Neil Druckmann told it the first fucking time.
Fair.
The medium isn't different enough where you have to make story changes because gameplay isn't involved anymore. No, you just have to make sure you accurately depict gameplay moments as correctly
in unique
as you
ways.
Depict.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I just said in unique ways. I was adding on to what you're saying.
Yeah, in unique ways, and then as good as and as cutscenes are.
Yeah. So
like you didn't need to add a Kathleen with Negan's speech, who's only going to be there for one fucking episode.
And speaking of which, are we ever going to get back to Jeffrey Wright's character? Like, he was super interesting. We saw him for one moment, and then now we haven't got back to him. Same with Abby. As much as again, Joe, I don't want to. I know where Abby is. We're going to get Abby next season, but I can't help but ask, where's Abby? Where's Abby? Because it seemed like she should be important at the beginning of the season, and now we just haven't seen her. Maybe check in once or twice through her. Like, okay, The Wire again. WWWD. What would the fucking Wire do? The Wire in season 2 created all brand new characters, but you still a couple times throughout the season touched in on our characters from the first season, just so you're like, I remember these people, blah blah blah. Maybe we could have seen Abby once or twice throughout the season instead of only seeing her.
We should have seen mostly Abby.
Maybe you would have.
What would the Wire do?
They would have led with the Abby stuff and had Ellie been the person we see sometimes, and
had Ellie come in at the end of the season,
or have Ellie next season and do the Abby this season.
The way to have done this was to just give us all Abby for 2 to 4 episodes. I would have gone for 4 episodes of all Abby and stopping Abby when they finally reached the cabin before they overlook Jackson. But when they reach,
we're going backwards. But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying there. And yes, David, we need to not think about such things. Just go on to more content. We need more content. We got to absorb content, get more content, need more content, need more content, get absorb more content.
It's not just about content though. It's not about giving us more episodes.
No. What he was meaning more is like, don't worry about Jeffrey Wright. We're gonna move on to the next thing. Joey Pants is in this episode. Forget about Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah,
Let's go to the next content. Next thing.
Like, and here's the thing. Again, the Joey Pants shit is not in the game.
Let's wait till we get to Joey Pants. We'll talk about him in a second. Yeah. So, because this is one of those episodes where the recap is just. I almost want to get through the recap and then just talk about everything, because the recap is just recapping a recap, which is a flashback. But let's get in the live chat for a second before we continue, just to get a couple comments here. He took away all of Ellie's anger and training, says me. Testified. Yep. Joe says Fandom D say Red Lipstick Club, the wonderful Anna in the live chat. Walking David says, I thought it would be decent, but I'm just not enjoying her performance. It feels very one note, and it's like a dog whistle that I can't hear. I understand, David, and I'm more trying to pick a couple pieces of tasty food through the duty when I'm hungry, like what wasn't digested in there, and what can I pick out and go, oh, that looks pretty, so I'm trying to find moments here, but I'm totally with you. Sometimes it's you're auto-corrected to just, you can't see anything but the quirks in the thing. It's like when someone comes in an audition and you're watching them audition, you're just like, stop that with your hands, or a poker tell or anything. Okay, so they head in, she's pushing all the buttons and shit, they blast off to space. Joel asks, how did he do? And she goes, are you fucking kidding me? It's awesome. Totally like a kid. They're heading back and they talk about we should do this more often. It's really nice and it's really cool. But she kind of stops and looks at a tree and a grove of
Fireflies.
the firefly thing. Okay, I didn't catch that.
There was the what they showed was a bunch of little fireflies floating around in the stream grove tree area.
Oh, thank you, Space Ghost. Have a great time, my friend, and thank you. That's wonderful to say. We'll keep going as long as you people keep coming and watching us. We'll keep babbling about this crap. We appreciate it. Ignorance is bliss, as Joey Pants is a big person with that, with our Matrix thing. Take the blue pill, take the red pill. I always forget which pill is the one to forget. So years later, it looks like this dude made a better cake. This time it actually says her name right. It's a rainy day. Joel sneaks up to the room. He hears some laughing in the room. He comes in, and it's Ellie getting a tattoo, making out, experimenting with drugs, and all sorts of stuff. And he's like, "Wait, what are you doing? Why are you being a teenager all at once? Tattoos, sex, weed, what's going on?" And they get into a little fight, like a normal teenage parent fight. And she moves into the the garage. And he says, "No, I'll fix it up for you." And she kind of
she has her own space. It's still a fucking room, just a room.
Yeah,
just don't fucking go kick the door in because you hear some people in there
giggling and smell weed on the outside. And what's with the you have to bring weed everywhere? I love weed, but I think you brought it in the flashback too, because someone in a boardroom saying, "Hey, you know what we're deciding, Joe? Every time we mention marijuana, we get clicks." So if we mention weed a few more times, we'll get a few more clicks. So, and again, I'm Cheech or Chong. I'm this side of Cheech or Chong with the amount I smoke. But I felt like the Tommy bought weed early on was like a sort of forced like crowbar. We can talk about this now because it's legal in a lot of states and weed's popular. So let's mention weed right here, but whatever. It's whatever. Weed's a part of the game. They find a grow room. Let's mention that buzzword as many times as we can. Seth, I used to be your dad, Joel. Here, have a drink. I'll work on your son's cake. Yeah. Okay, so sorry I got a tattoo, and sorry I smoked weed, but not sorry. I'm sorry. I'm I'll do what I fucking want. And you don't own this place. This isn't your fucking place, and you're not my real dad. Go fuck yourself. And he says the tattoo looks good. It was better than my Dremel skills. What's up with the moths? And she says they're representative of something. They mean something. And go fuck off and get out of here. So here's our comedy for the night. Everything to do with Catherine O'Hara's character. I thought we were done with her for the season, but she's popping up. We might not have Jeffrey Wright's character, but Catherine O'Hara.
I wish she was done for the season.
Me too, Joe, because I feel like less is more with her. That's kind of my sarcastic asshole point there. We have interesting characters like Jeffrey Wright's character, for example, and there's a couple of other ones that we bumped into along the way that we could see again. But instead, every once in a while, we get the wonderful stand-up comic timing of Catherine O'Hara making jokes. Hey, do I look like Lucy with the sign? I'm on duty. Hey. I'll pretend like I care. It means death. Oh, what does it mean? I'm a therapist and I don't care. I'm a therapist and I don't care.
Like someone sits down at your table and talks to you, and the first thing you say is what is it? What do I have, a fucking sign out? The doctor is in? Like what the fuck is that? Like, this isn't like a huge city. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of people do that. And maybe Joel did just kind of barge in and interrupt her good book that she was so fucking deep into. Like, that she's reading in public. When you read in public like that, it's because you want to be disturbed. You want to be interrupted. You're looking for someone to come talk to you without having to be needy and call people and be like, will you come hang out and be my friend and talk to me? No, you grabbed a book, which is 100% fucking personal, and you went to the most public fucking place and put your face in it because you're begging for someone to come up and interrupt your fucking read. Otherwise, make your fucking coffee at home, your eggs at home, and sit down on your fucking couch and fucking get your crumbs all over yourself and read your fucking book and not be interrupted by people who want to fucking come and sit down and talk to you for a minute.
You fucking blockhead.
Not everything is fucking therapy.
Blockhead. Jesus. Don't disturb me, Joel. I'm reading The Time Traveler's Wife. Exactly, David. Exactly, Walking David.
Like, I'm a therapist, Phil. Imagine if anytime someone came up and talked to me, any of my friends or people I know, Like, dude, leave me alone, man. I'm trying to fucking do something else.
Joe, remember last year when I was going through my little thing and I was like freaking out and blah, 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 and I called you? Imagine if I called you and you're like, Phil, I'm like totally off duty right now. You know, like I'm totally off duty. I can't be there for you. Fuck you. I'm off duty.
Dude, I'm in the middle of playing The Last of Us. Leave me alone.
Why don't you show up at my hospital if you need real help right now? You know, come on. I actually read in public so people will leave me alone, Jackie C. Pedro, I want to smoke weed with Pedro. I think we all wouldn't mind smoking some weed with Pedro right now. You really don't see Isaac that much in the game, to be fair. I know Jake, but I'm like, this is television. If you're going to make changes for television to make it more interesting, changes that I would take a character like that and give him 1 or 2 more scenes, maybe, instead of some other changes that maybe they made. But I'm just being selfish because I enjoy seeing Jeffrey Wright on my screen, and I want to see him more.
I got it right here.
I'm selfish.
And while we're running around Kansas City, right?
I'm laughing already. No, I'm laughing already. I don't know where you're going with this, but I'm laughing already.
Feel me out.
Okay.
While we're
I'll
running
feel
around
you,
Kansas City with Sam and his brother and Ellie and Joel, we can have that flashback scene because Ellie's going to protect Sam from stealing the toy, right? And so she says, "Oh no, I gave it to him or whatever." So that's okay. And we had the flashback scene where we get that shit with his father, Joel, and his father and Tommy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we can have in this season, right? This is where you get that callback that we were talking about earlier with that line, right? And also, what you can do is because we're shifting that shit over to Kansas City, we can get rid of that stupid ass Kathleen shit that we didn't fucking need in the first place to save time to put that good shit where it belonged in last season, right? And the big bad that's chasing them through Kansas City doesn't need a fucking Negan face.
They don't all
no matter whose face it is.
They don't need Negan faces, Joe, especially if it's
it's just a fucking bunch of bad guys that are constantly in the fucking shadows, that are constantly, oh no, I hear them again. Oh fuck, they're shooting at us again because they see
Joe,
us.
you can't see my main screen, but I have Kathleen displayed on my main screen now.
Yeah.
So, and everyone, that is what Joe thinks.
What did Joe think?
That works better that way. Like I'm not letting Kathleen go, man. I'm just not gonna let that fucking shit ride. It was bad, and if you were looking at the fucking macro story instead of fucking and trying to write something that was true and good instead of worrying about whether or not you're gonna be back for next fucking season.
David,
you write it correctly. Write out all your fucking seasons at once so you have it.
Joe, David makes some good.
See it as a fucking whole.
Joe, David makes some good logical points. Stop being rational, Joe. You fuck. What are you trying to do? Write a story or something? Like, come on.
Trying to rewrite an already perfect story that's been written to shit since. Like,
re-inspired, Joe. So yeah, the tattoo hurts so good. So what's up with the moths? So Joel comes running into Catherine O'Hara. This is our usual attack.
What's up with the moths?
Yeah, whoops. The moths. And Joel's like, does like a moth mean like reborn in life and stuff? I don't know why they've just made him Bill and
So butterflies are moths?
Yeah, in a sense, they're kind of moth, depending on in a Pokemon.
No.
Way. Are they technically butterflies are kind of moths? Okay.
It's the fucking same thing.
Okay, well.
They're just colorful instead of gray.
They're pretty. That makes them special, Joe.
Yeah.
So
same fucking thing.
A butterfly, one means death, one means life, according to the real therapist in the room, Joe. You know, I don't listen to you. I'm listening.
Yeah. According to the real therapist who thinks that dream shit is for the stupid people, and then she espouses about that dream shit. So she must be.
She's the best, Joe.
One of those stupid people, because butterflies are moths.
Shut the fuck up, Joe.
Thank you, Mika Lee. Ned Ryerson, hug to you for joining us again, Mika.
Shut the fuck up, Joe.
So that was for you, Antoine, who wanted one of those. Moths are night butterflies. What the fuck was she doing on the screen? Thank you, everyone. We're having an amazing time today. We very much appreciate you guys. We got one more week of this next week, and we've got, oh my goodness, happy birthday for me. Thank you so much, Mika. Very much appreciated. And she's a dream weaver. Okay, so Joel comes in. Catherine O'Hara, what's this mean? And he gets what he needs to hear about it, and he like runs out of there. It's it's a pretty funny scene. They have some good comedy with each other, but I agree with what Joe was saying. Less is more with Catherine O'Hara's character, and I think we've already seen enough of her this season. So 2 years.
What was the point? What was the point? What was the point of this scene at all?
Levity.
Where,
to add comedy to a dark episode, apparently. To like,
what was the dark? This wasn't a dark episode.
Or like a heavy episode.
This wasn't even that heavy. This episode explained so much that it wasn't heavy.
I'm with you.
Answers that you were like, why is she so pissed? How did she know?
Joe, I'm with you, but I feel like a lot of this show was written at that boredom. Like, I mean, this scene is interesting, but we need this show to be 10% more funny. So let's add a little bit of let's get an improv comic.
Did you find any of that funny though?
No, but the point is, it was intended to try to be, not whether it was successful or not. It was put in there to attempt to put humor in there.
And all it does is take away. So I guess it's like it's to remind us. Okay, you know what this scene was for. It's to remind us that she's a fucking character, because we see what happens with her later.
Right. I guess that's a good point. We had to,
it's a remember her,
because we're going to see her husband later, so to actually see the death, so we need to be reminded of who she is.
Right, and we never see Eugene in the games. We only ever hear about him. And in the games, I even got through this part in my stream today over on Dirty Issues Gaming.
Good plug.
Was Eugene died of a stroke. Huh?
Do you like the change?
I do.
Yeah, me too. I kind of like the change.
I do like the change. Here's the thing. Not 98% of the changes that I think have been added and at the hands of Craig are bad.
Yeah, our poop biscuits.
The Bill shit, I fucking loved it, because I loved the character in the game. Only it would have been nice for the TV audience to have seen the action and what Bill does during the game scenes. And I really like Joey Pants shit.
Yeah. We'll get into Joey Pants. It's like
I don't think that hurts any of it.
No, that's my thing with the Joel's dad thing too. As much as I understand,
and it didn't hurt it.
It didn't hurt anything.
Like I said, I didn't mind it, but it just felt forced because of
on the nose. It felt too on the nose. Amy, we
know his character.
We got the wonderful Amy in the live chat. Great to see Amy in the live chat. And thank you, Jackie C. Welcome. And welcome to the Discord group. We got Fandom D-Spade. Yeah, Fandom D-Spade was a great plug. But Amy in the live chat. Great to see Amy. Thank you. Welcome in. It was a good episode, I think. What was Mame? I'm just gonna call you Mame because I can't pronounce words. And I love the movie and play Mame. Mame, what was the point of her character at all? Asks Mame. It's a good question. Like Joe, what was the point of her character even at all? And I think
Mamami.
What was that? Mamami?
Mamami.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll go with that one. But what was and thank you, Mika, so much for the super chat.
I'm still not sure what the point of her character at all is. I think it's just to give Jackson more of a bigger feel. They're trying to make it feel more like a city.
Joe, I'm going to go even more like stupid than you. Not that answer's stupid. I'm going to go totally stupid. I think somehow Craig or Neil are fans of Schitt's Creek. Or Home Alone,
and we just really wanted to work with her.
Yes. I think it's that. We really love Catherine O'Hara, and we've always wanted to work with her. So we wrote a part. So we decided to make special time for her on the show. It feels like that. It feels like we love her, we want her on the show, kind of thing.
It does, because there isn't. I've seen, she hasn't offered anything to anyone's character development in spite of them trying with her being
Just
a
comic
therapist,
relief. That's all she's
and,
been.
and it's not even comic to me. It's not
No,
funny
it's
at all.
it's attempted comic relief is what I mean.
Like it's just
Kelly asks a quick question while you ponder that, Joe. Why was the new Batman animated series? It's hard to capture lightning in a bottle, and when you close out something that's really awesome in its time, it's hard to go back. That being said, X-Men '97 was amazing, and I think where it was smart and where some of the Batman stuff that Bruce Timm redo stuff, he tries to do something new, where X-Men '97 really knew to kind of lock into what was great about the old X-Men series. So, and I highly recommend that to anyone that hasn't watched that was a fan of the 90s, 80s, 90s. It was 90s? Yeah, 90s X-Men series.
90s.
X-Men 97, duh. X-Men 97 is a really good, it's an example of how a continuation series can be done well. And I think the Batman thing didn't have that same vibe, so to speak. Walking David, I will play your voicemail in a second, my friend. I'll turn on if you happen to be with later. I'll turn on the line a little bit later. Miss Duncan, the amazing tall in the live chat. Great to see you. I was looking for Joe's channel, but found the Discord. Oh yeah, if you look on the community tab on my channel, Jackie C, I put out a post about Joe's stream earlier, so you can find the link to the channel there. They're trying to analyze this right now. David, let's play David's voicemail before we get back into our recap, Joe. Before we get to our 2 years later, because Ellie, we end this segment with Ellie packing up her shit and moving into the garage. So we got a nice message from David here. Let me put David up on screen. And oh no, Shauna, get off my screen, Shauna. No one wants to see you. Let's get David up on screen. And David will be will take over. David looks like a young Pedro Pascal. Okay, so everybody, this is a voicemail from our good buddy, The Walking David. So let me try to figure this out here. I haven't played a voicemail in a while. Here we go.
What's up, fellas? Listen, you're talking about Catherine O'Hara right now, and anytime I see her on screen, or anytime characters straight up say exactly what they are thinking or feeling in a given moment rather than just showing us that they're feeling this way, it just drives me up the fucking wall. It's like the part where she was like in the therapist's office, like back in the beginning part of the season, where she's like, I'm really angry. And I'm scared to tell you how angry I am. Oh.
What was that, Joe? Just if you need me to pause, just what was that?
No. Yeah, because you killed my husband.
Yes, exactly.
But
I forgot. I thought he was on the line and it wasn't voicemail. So I was trying not to interrupt him with just throwing out a little comment, but still not. I don't want to interrupt his voicemail.
No, totally. But that's I hate to say it. I love talking to people who want it live, but the voicemail makes us get the comment on their point a little bit better because we can just pause their ass and then just like talk over it and stuff like that and rewind. But let's continue. More David.
I should tell you how angry I am. I think I will. Here I go. I'm like, man, Catherine O'Hara's doing her best Jennifer Coolidge
totally
delivery I've ever heard.
Totally.
And all characters do it. Like Dina did it where I hate scenes where characters are like, you tell me what happened about my life. And then they just play like a multiple choice guessing game. Like Dina's like, what happened in my past? Here's what happened in my past. I'm like, show a fucking flashback.
Yeah.
That's when you show a flashback. You don't.
Yeah.
You show the flashback of it happening, and then you cut back to Ellie going, oh my God, I had no idea. But you don't have to just not show it. I mean, you take one Catherine O'Hara bullshit scene out, and you can add a flashback.
Yep.
And the flashback based on what she...
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely do. I'm going to obviously play the rest of the message, but that's an excellent fucking point, David. You take out one of those, and you totally change the situation, because you have a lot of good... And again, I know not everyone agrees with this, but I think you have a good palette of stuff here that if they organized it differently, it would at least be more arguable at times, because you get episodes like this that I think do a good job at achieving the goals that they're trying to achieve. And I think last week did a good job of it too. I think we got 2 good episodes that were at least on the level of last season, these last 2 episodes, for me anyways, Joe. But then you think about how everything was spread out and the whole thing, and you accept everything that we've seen so far. You're like, it could have, it just could have been presented a little bit better if they were not trying to smell their own farts a little bit. I don't know.
Describe would have been super easy and cheap to do. All right? Because it's just like her parent got killed by one dude. So it's like 3 people, including her.
Four people total: the sister, the mother, the killer, and her.
Yep. And the person
And the whole scene lasts literally as long, maybe 30 seconds longer than it takes her to fucking say it.
Yep. Or the person that passed out at 31 Flavors last night with Ferris.
This show is super fucking lazy. Because rather than thinking about creative ways to show something, rather than tell something, they just do everything in exposition dumps, and then they are shocked when you are not blown away by the on-the-nose dialogue and the on-the-nose text. You know,
I love how David is somebody that I've seen him be upset or be motivated by a lot of things, but that no show has pushed David to Joe Rant levels like The Last of Us. I highly recommend watching some of David's reviews of The Last of Us. He's this is something he's very serious.
He started to get there. He started to get there with the end of The Walking Dead.
Yep.
He really did.
No, he did.
A lot of good writing has subtext. This isn't subtext. This is fucking pretext. This is just dumping it and hitting you over the head with it, and then at the same time telling your audience, you're too fucking stupid to get it, even though we banged you over the head with it. So we're going to do it multiple times.
I want to bang you in your head.
Like, they didn't get us
review
last week and the week before. They had to tell us 2 different episodes. Yes, I'm with you. And I forget what the other, like, basically Ellie and Dina repeated every conversation they had from the week before in last week's episode.
Jackie C, send me a message send me a private message later and I'll send it to you. Only stuff. We got the wonderful Julie B deep dives in the live chat. Great to see Julie, another fellow New Englander. Thank you, Julie, for popping in the live chat. And it was an emotional episode. I definitely got teary-eyed. The North always remembers Mark Houston. Killmonger, Joey Pants was cool, but the rest of the episode was bad. Ellie snitched her hurt for me. Only stuff from the game is good, but all the new stuff sucks. As Killmonger, great to see Killmonger in the live mother flipping chat. Fandom D Saint, click on the link that Fandom D Saint put in the chat, and it's that channel. Jackie C. Mika Lee with another super sticker. You did you ever know that Meek is my hero? Giving me super chats till stops to sing. I'll stop singing. I'll stop singing because you gave me the super chat. No one wants to hear me. Miss Duncan Tall, thank you so much for popping on here. Thank you to everybody. And make sure if you haven't already, you subscribe to The Walking David, as Jackie C popped in the live chat. And you can also find him on The Tick or The Talk or many other spots where David does some of the best impressions in the world. Also a filmmaker. You might see him pop up in movies, television shows, different stuff like that. Make sure you check out our good buddy. And we're all hoping David. Can't wait to see David do more work, awesome work as it goes on. One of the hardest workers out there. Seriously, David's out there grinding day by day to make sure he's acting on a day as often as he can. Thank you, Walking David. Everyone, if you're in this chat and you're enjoying this stuff, or even if you're not enjoying it, hit the damn like button and share this shit out. And thank you for checking this out, you folks. 2 years later, here's Ellie talking to the camera, has questions about Salt Lake City, and she's rehearsing her speech with Joel. Number 1, if the firefighters spotted us away, how could they not see the Raiders? Where is it like Bo Jackson slipping past people? If the Raiders could have killed all of them, how the fuck did we get away? And where are all the rest of the immune people? And that was the worst lie that Joel told, like that there was other immune people. Come on, Joel. And thank you, Julie B. And Joel says, he's got his gift for her. Shows up there, he's got his gift for her, and she gets her first real patrol, Joe. And they go on the little patrol thing. And the one thing I didn't like, or I kind of liked, I can't tell what I liked about it, if I didn't like it or not, Joe, was the way that they went into action. They got the Star Trek call. You know what I mean when I said the Star Trek call? Captain, Captain, you're the only group in the area, and we need someone to go into the
They get
situation.
to SETI Alpha 3.
Yeah, you're the only Captain Kirk. You're the only ship in the quadrant to help us, even though we're right by Earth.
To help the colony on Beta Alpha 29.
Walking David's wife says she wishes Ellie would die now, and she's the sweet one in the David relationship. Oh my goodness.
She's got too much plot armor.
Oh, she does. She's not going nowhere. Okay, so they go and they gotta go deal with an infected situation. They hike down, some dangerous music plays. A horse comes with a dead person hanging on the saddle. It was whatever. It was kind of a cool shot. And they find Eugene, Joey Pants. There he is, our hero, eating up scenery since day one. It's never not great to see Joey Pantaleone on the screen. He's one of those guys that you forget how long he's been working in movies. Like when you first start seeing him pop up, like some of his early roles in like Midnight Run or The Goonies or something like that. And he's probably in a few things before those, but like those are the first things I saw him in. Obviously shot to even, one of a huge role in the Matrix movies or in the Christopher Nolan movie where everything's going in alternate times and the guy's has the memory loss.
I'm wondering if
in tattoos, what's that called?
Goonies might be the first thing I remember him from.
Which movie?
Goonies.
Goonies. I think it was.
I remember him from.
For me, it was probably Midnight Run. Midnight Run or Goonies. I'm not sure.
Like I saw Midnight Run, but I don't think it was necessarily something like the first thing I can say like, oh, he was in when I started knowing who he was like Goonies. Like I wouldn't have put him back at Midnight Run.
What would you say was Memento? Thank you. I think
wasn't it in the
Memento. Thank you, John. What would you say was his most widely acclaimed role? Ralphie?
No.
The Matrix?
Like acclaimed role?
Yeah, acclaimed role. Like the role he's most known for.
No, people don't really remember him from The Matrix.
No, they know him because of that scene in The Matrix, because he's the one that talks about the pill. Like, take the pill. He's iconic from The Matrix with the pill conversation. But
yeah, and I wanted.
Hey, you guys.
And talking about the food, the fucking sloppy food.
I would eat it. And like when you think about that first Matrix movie, I feel like he's like the thing you remember. I remember most from it. But what would you really say Joey Pants big thing? If you think about Joey Pants, what's the first role you think about? It might be Ralphie.
No. So the first role I think about now with Joey Pants, it's still The Matrix.
It's The Matrix. For me, I think it might be Ralphie.
But the thing is he's in so many things.
So many things. He's awesome. He's been one, and he's always
he's great in Tacoma FD.
He's always Joey Pants, but he's always something different
he's
too.
Great in Sense8. He's also in Sense8.
He's also
Lito's agent. Lalo.
Yep, he's also
in Sense8.
He's also in
Joey Pants is in Sense8.
He's also in The Fugitive or U.S. Marshals.
Fugitive, yes, The Fugitive.
He's in so many amazing things. Fugitive might be one of the things he's the most well known for.
I knew it was something else that I would have put him on from the Fugitive movies, but those aren't those are 30-year-old movies now.
I know, we're old. We're ancient. I did too, Queenly.
1990s, we're watching movies from the 60s going oh, this got to be his most acclaimed role and shit. But there's body of work that's massive. But
we would you would say somewhere between The Matrix. You would say The Matrix, and I would say probably The Sopranos. And so yeah. He's just been in so much. He was also the star of Robot in the Family. He's been in a ton of material. It was sort of a half After Dark because there was only just it was two dudes in KP popping in one time. So but Tony, I think Tony and Anna are gonna do another one next week possibly. So yeah, they find Eugene, Joey Pants. He's in it for a bit. He's like, I got an okay. Someone asked this earlier, Joe. If I got bit, would you give me the hour to go say goodbye to my non-existent? I know I'm single. If I was still married, would you give me the hour to go say goodbye to my non-existent wife or my dog Lotus?
So here's the thing, Phil.
Would you ask me? Inside question: would you ask me to let you go say goodbye to Katie, or would you just tell me to get it over with?
You wouldn't have even. I don't know how long it's going to take for help to get to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been bit. You wouldn't have found me saying anything.
True. You would have done it yourself.
I'm not going to take the chance that you get there late and I fucking bite you and bite fucking, anyone else.
Joe's quick answer: no, you're dead, Phil.
So yeah, to be honest, like I find you in the woods, you know that, like ship buddies got rules, right? One of the rules is
Queenly,
immediate,
I accept your proposal, Queenly.
immediate and fucking sudden. Like this is the only time, right, where the proverbial handshake sucker punch is acceptable, right? I don't necessarily need you to know it's coming. You already know it's coming, right? So I'm not gonna make it you're gonna be sobbing to me please let me just go see my bang done. You're not even gonna know the answer to your plea. You know what I mean? So that's just how I we've established our rules of survival in this fucking
No, that's
universe.
true. We've talked about
Joey Pants, you are a Vietnam vet in this. You are out on patrol 20-something years deep in the fucking cordyceps virus outbreak, right? However long you've been with this fucking woman, the conversation has already happened that if something happens to me, something's happened to me. They're going to put me down. I'm going to put them down.
Joe and I have already talked about this. Joey Pants is voted off the island.
No, Joey. Ellie. We have fucking rules.
Look at the flowers, Phil. Look at the flowers, Phil.
Look at the pretty lake, Joey.
Yep, it's happening.
I don't need a view of this.
Need
a view of my wife.
His only mistake here is lying to Ellie and not just logic bombing her, being like, "No, dude, we gotta fucking kill her,
You're
kill
absolutely
him."
right.
Come on, Ellie.
No, Ellie. We have rules. We follow these rules. This is what it means to be out on patrol. If your friend gets fucking bit, you shoot him in the face before he has the time to change and bite you.
Not everyone's
to come
you.
to town and bite us. Not everybody is immune, Ellie.
Yeah, not everyone's you.
Right? You shoot him right now. Joel, he should have went bang. End the fucking conversation. Why is this even a conversation? Are you clean? No. There's a big bite mark here. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Oh, did you say something, Ellie? Boom, 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 boom. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Boom, 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 boom.
Is that your version of how the scene should have gone?
That's my. You want funny?
There's comedy.
I'm sorry, did you say something, Ellie? Bang.
I'd laugh. I'd sure fucking laugh. Okay, so we get the close up of Joey Pants, blah 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 blah. So they go to walk, and I have a bunch of voicemails. I will get to those. I will get to those voicemails after we get a little bit in the recaps a little bit. Because every guy in this show has to be a big dumb moron.
Yeah, he wants to go to fucking town so he can be put down in front of his fucking wife.
Amy just saw your nip slip. You just had I think you had a Janet Jackson nipple slip that popped out, Joe. Joe feels horrified right now. Red Lipstick Club, Anna says, Ellie has an entitlement that comes with being immune. If he turns and bites her, she's fine, but everyone else isn't. And another excellent point by Anna right there. And that's just kind of
exactly
backs up what Joe said.
Conversation does, as soon as he answered in the affirmative with the big bite mark in his fucking side, the trigger gets, you're done. You're gone. No, we found him dead in the woods. And then let her lie about that. No, he was alive. And before he could say anything after I got bit, Joel put him down. Good. That's what the deal is. That's what we've all agreed to is the fucking deal?
Joe, I know it was a nipple, not a shadow, because I'm sweating. What movie is that from?
It does sound familiar.
It is from a movie. I said I quoted it a little weird, but it's like is that a nipple or is that the shadow of a nipple? It's a nipple because I'm sweating.
I'm sweating.
That's how.
I just saw this recently too.
Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. If anyone in the live chat can get that, you get points. You know, whatever. So, anyways, so if you love someone, you can always see their face.
Just saw this. Like recently.
You probably saw it a few months ago, actually. No, it's not Boomerang. It's not Boomerang. Good guess, though. Okay, so Joel agrees with Ellie. We'll take him back to see his wife. He's like, let me see his wife. We talked all through this. And then Ellie drives away, and I can tell you what it is if you want.
Yeah.
It's from Scrooged. Oh no, is it Boomerang? Is it Boomerang too? Am I confusing quotes? I'm remembering a point where they're looking at like the production that they're putting together on the television in Scrooged, and they're trying to see if one of the Rockettes is a nipple, and it's Bill Murray. Is that a nipple? Is nipple because he's sweating? No, you're right. It's Boomerang. I'm confusing it because it is Boomerang. Thank you, everyone in the live chat. It is Boomerang. There's a similar quote in Scrooge. See, I don't even know my own quotes, Joe. I don't even know my fucking trivia.
I don't know. I think it's been in a few things because.
So I believe the chat. It's Boomerang.
Yeah. If we believed the chat last week, there would have been some misinformation about the beloved Golden Girls. All right. So,
oh yeah, it's Eddie. When Eddie Murphy's making the commercial, he's doing that. Okay, it's cool. So Jay was right. Jay is always right. Jay gets the points. Jay gets the points. Points for Jay. Points for Jay. Okay. So Ellie. So he tricks him. He does the old Carol 101 trick, where he brings him out to see the to look at the pretty flowers. And
why aren't we walking towards the horses, Joel? Like, go get the horses, Ellie. Why aren't we walking with her?
No.
Like, we can all walk down the path together, Joel.
Nope. Conveniently stupidos, fucking idiots. And they head back, and finally, he's like, I just want to see my wife's face from me. This was a good line read. This is where Joey Pants is earning his paycheck. He's giving you the pants.
Yep.
He's giving you full pants right here.
I thought it was well done. I don't need a view. I just need to see my wife's face. It's not to hear her last words. It's not for me to tell her anything. It's for me to hear her. I'm scared.
Yeah, I want to hear. And Joe, that was a new wrinkle on a scene like this, just from a dialogue acting performance that I hadn't seen, that I enjoyed. And it came from somebody who usually takes chances like that, like someone like Joey Pants, that really kind of made me feel like he was taking a moment there with it. It felt like some real acting there for a second, Joe.
It speaks to the desperation, right? The say anything to get it.
It wasn't John. It wasn't John Cusack.
I need to hear her. I need to tell her. I need to see her. I don't need to see this. I need to see something like he's trying to go through all of it to rationalize it to get what he wants in that moment. But it's all very true and it's all straight from the heart. He does a great job expressing his feelings as well as telling us.
Yeah, it was a great scene with two really, really good actors, with Pedro and Joey Pants. I thought they hooked in. I thought they had a good moment. And
I really liked this. So in the game, things play out a little different with how she finds out. She takes off to Salt Lake on her own, or maybe even with Dina. They like go out on a patrol and they just go for like 2 days and then come back to Salt Lake City, or a couple days or whatever, however fucking long it takes. And she sees the carnage herself. And Joel realizes she has gone, and I think catches her on her way back, and they have this kind of conversation like, tell me what really happened. You this is your only time. And he fucking doesn't tell her.
Okay, Joe.
He doubles the fuck down.
Let's get through a little bit more of this recap here. So Ellie comes back and is horrified and heads back. They head back with the dead body, and they're gonna tell Gale what she needs to hear. And he says, "I'm gonna tell Gale what she needs to hear and do the right thing and keep your fucking mouth shut, Ellie." Basically, and he presents the body to Gale, and he lies to Gale. Says this dude was not scared. He didn't want to come back and put you at risk. He was brave, and he ended it himself. And Ellie,
You fucking lying
Yeah.
piece of shit.
dude, Ellie blew up his fucking rat.
He
rat in his
shot
ass.
him in the
He
face.
shot him in the motherfucker. He fucking lied to him. He lied to me too. He fucking killed his ass, Joe. What did you think of Ellie's? Did she do this in the game as well, or is this completely
No.
show? This
No,
is show
because
stuff.
that's not in there.
Do
Like
you-
I said.
Do you feel like the
that-
Ellie
like,
you know
that's-
would have done this?
Yes. I think this all works.
Mm.
This happens to be one of those things that I think Craig talked Joel talked the
Neil.
other one into Neil into to help with the story. It would have been a lot harder to have Ellie go out and do this whole thing in a separate flashbacks with her like traveling at some point in this 4 years out to Salt Lake City.
Killmonger says Ellie's not a snitch in the game.
She's not. It works. It works for the story. It works for tying in why she's been so pissed at Joel, right? Like I said, in the game, he doubles down when she confronts him about it, and which also leads to like why she's still so why she's so pissed at him, right? Because she knows he's lying, but he's not telling anything different, so she kind of settles with like, I'm mad at him because I really feel like he's still fucking lying to me, but she doesn't have, and Joel dies without her ever getting that like, he lied to me, he didn't lie to me. She never has the full fucking answer, right? In the game though, in the TV show, she gets her answer. He doesn't double down with the lie, and the only difference then in this telling is that aside from that is that they could have made a cure, which isn't in the game either. It was still up in the air. It was maybe in the future we'll be able to.
So they present the body to Gale. She rats him out. All this stuff. Gale runs away crying, and Joel's like, "I done fucked up." 9 months later, it's.
Am I talking about subtext? I'm not sure what that means, David. So.
I don't know. I can't understand what's under what Joe's actually what the real meaning behind what Joe's saying. Under what he's saying, we don't understand subtext. We're just Wayne and Garth here, dude. We don't
yeah, man.
Dude, what's up? We don't understand.
Stop harshing my mellow.
Dude, what you talking about,
What is
man?
it, fucking school, man?
We're old men. It's like hippies, dude. We're from the '60s. We were born 1952, dude.
Dude, man, I failed English twice.
She's overdoing snark. What subtext, dude? What are you gonna? We talk tenants in institutions and ideas now, man. We don't know those kind of things. What the fuck are you talking about? You ask us about history now, man. What the fuck? Anyways, so you can put your weed in there, dude. Everyone got that? You can put your weed in there. Okay, so Ellie ain't no snitch. She'd hold down those loose lips and not sink no motherfucking ships. Says Killmonger. 9 months later, I said it's Christmas, but it was actually New Year's Eve. We're back into like our real time here, and we're doing the Back to the Future thing where we're seeing the same scenes from a different perspective. And I don't know if it's the Back to the Future thing, the Godfather video game thing. And we're 9 months later, and Joel's watching Ellie interact, and Tommy. We're not getting a lot of Tommy this season, which I expected to get more of Tommy this season, but I don't. Is Tom? I know the answer, and sometimes I ask you questions. I know the stupid answers. I know it's a stupid question because I know what the answer is going to be. Is what I meant. So it's a stupid question. But there's more of Tommy in the game, right? Like Tommy's a bigger thing in the game, right?
Yes.
You're gonna laugh at me because of how much bigger he is, right? Like he's huge
Yes.
in the game, right? Yeah, he's nothing on the show.
He's not huge like you think, but Tommy's got a story to him.
Yeah.
With some shit that happens, like you hear, he's out in in Seattle now too. Jesse and Tommy came together, but they split up in Seattle. So he's in Seattle also, and Jesse's in Seattle. So we are going to get more Tommy, but it looks like it's probably going to be it'll either be next episode or next season.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know how they're going to where they decided the last. Continue with the shit.
Okay, so Joel,
we'll get there.
Joel is watching Ellie interact. Tommy's bringing his baby boy home for the night, and this is where we get our Uncle Grumpy, which I assume is a line from the game too, like calling Joel Uncle.
I don't remember if it is.
It seems like it's a cutie.
The throwaway line.
Yeah, throwaway.
Honestly, as I was playing the game today, in the stream earlier, I would have I wanted to skip through a lot of the cutscenes and shit. I was kind of oh, why do I have this option turned off? I can't fucking. But people who would be watching the stream would have been pissed because I would have skipped a lot of the small scenes that would have been Uncle Grumpy.
And to the point, no, the Soprano dudes would be some of the first that would die in this kind of world because they would be stupid enough to try to fight off the Polly Walnuts. Except for Polly would run. He'd still be running.
This is my neighborhood,
yeah,
and we're gonna control our neighborhood.
No clickers are gonna get us off this shit, yo. We're not gonna have you're the brave
Either
man.
that, or they'd be the first ones loading up their fucking Lincolns and jumping on the freeway and dying in the fucking horde of people.
So after the Uncle Grumpy scene, which reminds me of Unser from Sons of Anarchy, Uncle Snappy, Uncle Grabby, they call him, or something like that. And we see the dance from another perspective. We see Seth and his nonsense, and Joel stepping up, and Ellie being like, "I don't need your fucking help." And then we flash over to Joel on the porch playing guitar, and Ellie comes up and she walks past, but then she decides to come back out. And she stares at him, stares off, and asks him what he's drinking, drink coffee, and they have their talk, Joe. They have their, he asks her if Dean is his girlfriend, and they just kind of yada yada that, and she's like, I'm stupid, and he says something really nice to her, and says it with a direct...
She'd be lucky to have you.
Yep, and he turns and is like, listen, motherfucker, or she's like, that's the look you gave me when you told me, when you lied to me. Is that
Yeah. It was the same exact fucking look that you said to me when you promised you were going to bring Joey Pants to see Gail. When you promised me that, it was the same fucking look you had when you promised me there were all that shit about fucking Salt Lake.
Everything, exactly. Everything was the promise. And that's your poker tell face. And I know it. And this is your last fucking chance. Tell me the fucking truth. And she asks him everything one last time. Other immune people? No. Raiders? No. Could they have made a cure? Yes. Do you really know that, Joel? But whatever. Did you kill them all? Yes. Did you kill
No. And you? Yes.
Yes. Marlene? Yes.
Yes. All of them.
Yes.
Why? Because I fucking love you.
No, you selfish
because
fucker. No, you're selfish fucker. No, because I love you.
Right, and that's the line that makes me feel like the song earlier is all about Ellie.
Her. Yep. No, I hear you,
because
Joe.
he is her daughter, right? And I can't. When he wakes up in that hospital, everything they went through up until that point when they take her from him and get her ready for surgery, it dawns on him that he now has another daughter.
Yep. No, it's real.
It's real, that he loves her, that he's not willing to let her die for a possible cure or the cure. No, she deserves to live. Humanity isn't on her fucking back.
Yep. Not anymore.
Right? She has no obligation to sacrifice her life to save a bunch of shitty fucking people who are doing awful things. No guarantee that the Fireflies are going to make this available to everybody. No guarantee that they have enough fucking supplies to make millions and millions of vaccines for all the people that still might be fucking alive across the fucking world. Like, no. And he loves her. And he loves her, and you won't fucking understand, and you can't possibly fucking understand until you have one of your own that you would do anything for at all.
Aw.
Like, no. You just won't.
That cat's like, fuck you, Joe. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But happy birthday, my fellow birthday week friend. My birthday was yesterday, nonfiction. Happy birthday to you.
And that's
as well.
right. She wasn't planning on that. Like, we don't see, like, when after this is done, after they get the blood they need or whatever they need to do, we're going to go back to Jackson, Joel. We're going to do this. She was nonfiction. You're absolutely right. She was making plans for afterwards. And in the game and in the show, we don't see any conversations between her and the Fireflies and her and the Doctor and them saying to her, we are going to cut you the fuck open.
No, and that's confirmed.
Remove your fucking brain,
Joe, and
girl.
that's confirmed here when he explains that, because she said she doesn't act like I knew that anyway. She says, well, that would have been my choice and that would have been my destiny, and that's okay. But she doesn't say, yeah, I knew that anyway. Like, what the fuck? Like, I knew it.
She doesn't say, no, I gave permission for them to do that.
Yep. I mean, she
Because
would have.
she wouldn't, no, and not without saying bye to Joel.
True.
She never would have. So they never told her. They never told her, we're going to fucking kill you now to do this. Like, I did what I did because I love you, and that's what I do for the people I love. I don't let them get hurt. I don't let them get taken advantage of. I don't let them get stolen from, as we saw with Tess. Like, no, you don't do this to me and mine, and if you do, there will be consequences.
Major consequences. Sorry, technical. There's you keep your weed in the thing right there. Okay, so but Queenly, I don't have it, or I have a dog that I used to be my own that I see on occasional weekends, but occasional month, occasional weekends. But the dogs that are usually here are dogs that I'm taking care of, not dogs that are my own. And I don't have any on here, fortunately, here, or a kitty cat wandering around. I don't have a kitty cat to sit on my lap right now yet. Maybe eventually. So, did you kill Marlene? Yeah. And basically, as we just said there, explains to her that you were going to die. And she says, well, that would have been my destiny. It would have been what I had something to do. And then he turns to her and says, if you had a kid of your own, I hope you do a little bit better than me. Which,
our callback from the first scene.
Which, imagine, just to bring the fuck. Yes, this was really cool. This was a great line read. This kind of got me emotional. This was the moment in the episode where I actually got emotional. This in her line right about the forgive you, won't forgive you line kind of got me. That was the point where I just kind of got it a little bit. That being said, imagine if we did not have that scene at the beginning of this episode with the dad scene, and this was a scene in season 1 that we got a little backstory on Joel and Tommy, like before we meet Tommy episode. It's more about Tommy and Joel's relationship, but it's part of that. And we knew that, and we heard the father say that to him, and we recall that. Maybe even at that point, you hear the audio of it, even if you want to do a little on the nose like the show.
No, you don't even have to do that, because if you watched season 1, and a lot of people rewatch season 1 right before season 2.
They would do, Joe, just because HBO was like this. They'd show it in scenes from last week, like in the preview.
For previously on. They would.
They'd show you in the previous on. They would.
But that's fine, because you don't watch when you binge a show in its entirety.
I skip.
You don't get the previously ons, or you skip through them. But it would still be fresh in your memory from previous season. And it wouldn't be like they forced it on you just beforehand so that you would have that kind of like bookend on your episode.
So, Joe,
which is unneeded and feels forced and contrite or something.
Contrived. Contrived, I think, is what you're trying. What you're saying. But contrite too. I don't know if that's a word, but I bet it sounds like it sounds like it should. It sounds like it. But it sounds like it should be that too. So,
hey, I'm not a writer. I'm a rewriter.
I'm an interpreter of the English language. Shakespeare did it. I can do it, right?
Yeah, right.
So, previously on Boardwalk Empire. Okay, so, and the end of the episode is Ellie's in the rain, heading what it looks like to a theater.
Yes.
I don't know what that's about, but she seems to be heading to a theater.
That's the theater they're in.
Oh, okay. So that's where her friends are.
And that's that. Like, I was getting to this before, like. When I was I forget.
And that's
what
our episode.
the point I was making earlier, and I was like, no, just continue with the recap.
Yep.
Was this scene here where she's just walking back to the theater? This means they fucking yada everything of her getting out of the fucking basement of the hospital, getting away from the WLF, and re-finding her way back to the fucking theater without running through the fucking park again or any of that kind of shit, and having to go through the building that fucking Tommy saved her in. I mean, that Jesse saved her and Dina in. Like, so they yada all that.
They're yada-yadaing a lot.
And just have her like, oh, it's raining and I did my deed and I had my memory.
And she found her in Revenge. She's like the shark in Jaws 4, you know, that can kind of sense them in the Bahamas and follow them. She just knows where her enemies are, and she has like a detector. And she found her in that building, and she was able to just escape.
Right? Like she from the moment
she climbed through a hole. She climbed through a hobbit hole.
Fucking park. It's like, all right, she snuck past one guard and one dog, magically finds Dina, and then is magically back at the fucking theater.
So, Joe, we had a poll, and we had, over 80 votes in the poll tonight. Thank you so much, everyone that voted in this poll. Deep episode. 42% people said they were moved. It was a beautiful episode. 29% said meh, okay, hit and miss. 19% said my butt was moved, boring. And 8% said, Phil, your questions are stupid. She hid
or miss.
She hid under a dumpster. I definitely think she hid under a dumpster. I'm not a writer. I am a rewriter. And yeah, Joe, that's so very convenient. Before we go into listening to we got a bunch of voicemails from Jay and one more from David. And everyone, if you want to call in, leave a voicemail. Now's the time, 781-990-8509, and throw it in the live chat. I do want to talk to Joe about one other thing before we go tonight briefly. So we're going to keep talking about The Last of Us. We'll still open The Last of Us stuff, but we might go off topic a little bit here too. So yes. Well, what the fuck was I just gonna say? Okay. Do you think we'll see Abby next week?
I have no idea what to expect for next week.
I think we might see Abby at the last moment of the episode. Like we're gonna see the transition of character to show that she's gonna be the main character of next season. Like we're gonna the last scene of this episode will be in Abby's perspective, so to speak. That's my guess. I haven't seen it. I have no spoilers. My guess is that the last scene of next week's episode will be like we're similar to last week's, where we had the last scene was in the beginning of this episode, like in the flashback. The next episode will end like as Abby.
I don't know. I really don't know what to expect, what they're gonna do.
Yes, one last episode.
I wouldn't be surprised if they give us a almost full Abby episode.
Oh, okay. You think they may go full? They may go full Abby.
Did you see the previews?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it
either.
I didn't watch it this time.
I don't ever fucking watch it. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. So I have no idea.
Okay.
That's how excited I am for it.
Yeah, you sound excited. You sound fucking excited, Joe. Let's do a couple of voicemails, Joe. Let's see if that excites you.
Oh, there's more voicemail.
There is plenty of voicemails. We got Jay. Listen to Jay.
One, the Walking Dead video game, the Telltale game with Clementine, I still think is one of the best video games.
Yes, that was great.
So I think what Joe was wrong about
everything
that's
a great.
Last of Us does is better than the Walking Dead stuff. Because I would still say that video game is still trumps, even though they stopped those Telltale series.
He hates when I pause him. What? Yeah.
So no. I agree with you. The season 1 and season 2
Thank you, Patricia.
Telltale games were excellent. They are on par with the Last of Us video games. The Telltale game for Game of Thrones was fucking excellent. Is on par with the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones
House
as well.
Forrester, baby. House Forrester.
Wolf Among Us, which is their own original story for Telltale games, was fucking amazing. They made a great video game, a great story-driven. It's so story-driven that you forget you're playing a video game a lot of the time, and like you'll need to like hit left or hit right or hit up or down or A or B at certain times. But for the most part, you're just watching a television episode. So it's a different style video game for sure. But yes, on par. I agree with you. Good call there, Jay.
Telltale series. And why is Joe in Alaska? I think that's what you said last time I asked or whatever. He's in Alaska. I was just wondering why.
No, Joe's not in Alaska, but I think I was just joking. when I said Joe's in Alaska.
I actually Googled if butterflies were moths, and according to Wikipedia, like moths include a whole bunch of insects that don't include butterflies.
There you go, Joe. We got Jay.
They are. They're the same thing.
Admittedly, I did not watch this episode, but I actually think you guys are being too nice by having a fictional conversation with Ellie about like why you have to do this. No, like we have to do this. I would just have killed the person and been like, yeah, it had to be done. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Bye.
Fair, Jay. We got a couple more quick ones from Jay.
You mean all the Soprano guys, but Tony Soprano have died in this world? All right, later.
Yes, I think Tony Soprano would die quick in this world. I think we overestimate Tony's intelligence sometimes.
Contrite is a word. It means like feeling or expressing remorse for something you feel you've done wrong or something like that.
There we go. Thank you so much. I'm not sure I know what that song is, Soggy Boy, but maybe in one of those like after karaoke ones that I do, because officially the channel, as it's after midnight, my strike is over, or like the copyright strike for my Saturday Night Live stream is done. I can do another Soprano live watch again. And we got one more message from David. And let's, David, if you want to call in for a little bit, you're welcome to call in, or I can play your voicemail. But either way, but if you want to call in and join us for a little bit here, we'll be on for a little while longer. But I do want to also talk about Joe. So how do you feel about Dunkin' Egg being pushed off and the HBO changing their name back to HBO? It seems like there's a lot of messing going on at HBO there. They're switching things up. Does the push off of Dunkin' Egg bother you at all? Or you will? Are you?
I was looking forward to it, so of course it bothers me.
Me too. And don't announce it's going to come out this year, especially when it's probably almost done. I'm hoping that they didn't decide to reshoot so they could add the dagger in, or add some White Walkers, or add some connections to the original series. Like if you needed to like add some more stuff, or you just needed more work. But I think they're just doing it from like a schedule standpoint or whatever. But either way, I'm disappointed, but I like that they're calling themselves HBO again. I don't care if it's stupid. All the way HBO. David, welcome back, buddy.
What's going on, you guys?
Not much. How are you, David? So you're this season. Like I want to almost show you. Tell me where on the doll this season's hurting you, David.
My head, my tummy. My feet hurt.
So
from
can
all the pacing that I'm doing.
So
while I'm
we hopefully will act as your therapeutic Pepto-Bismol podcast right now. So if you were to recreate this as somebody, how Joe's talked about this a lot. How are some of the ways that you think this could have been better from right from the start? I think from starters, you're on there. We don't have to go too far down this road because we know how some people go through this. But you're not a big fan of the casting of Bella Ramsey, right? That's a big part of it for you, right?
Oh, it's a massive part considering she's in every scene.
Yeah, and she's the main star. I think
I don't mind Bella Ramsey casting.
I think the casting of Abby. I think Abby would have been a better.
No. A better Bella?
Yeah, listen, man. I mean, my hot take on this is I've seen like recent videos of Ashley Johnson, and also she played her own character's mother in this show, and I go, dude, you could have just aged her down and had her also play Ellie in this. Like, I really don't.
I don't know about aging her down, but she was great as the voice of Ellie in the game.
Yeah. So sorry, it's kind of staticky on my end. I'm sorry. Hopefully, I'm coming in.
Oh no, you're coming through good. Sorry if it's tough. It's probably us.
Okay. But yeah, she's great, and at the very least, I think she definitely could have played the older version of Ellie. I had made a video that I was like legitimately afraid of putting out there just because it was just so full of piss and vinegar that I was like, I'm just gonna get lambasted. You know what I mean? Like, but one of the things that I had said is that if you had like recast Bella Ramsey, not because she's awful, which I think she is in this, but because she just doesn't look old enough to portray the video game counterpart at this stage.
I agree.
In the story. It's like, I think in House of the Dragon, they did a perfect example of it working. You had that, what is it, like Millie Alcott or whatever her name was,
Yep.
who played
She's gonna
young
be
Rhaenyra.
She's gonna be
And
Supergirl.
everybody was like, you can't do that. I mean, she's fantastic. Like, this is a huge fucking mistake. And then the moment they introduced the older Rhaenyra, it took till the end of that episode for everybody to be like, we're all having Negronis Spagliatos to celebrate. I mean, like, everybody loved her.
Yeah,
And it was,
I mean, it works sometimes, but it also, I'm not a fan of that show. So I also felt as though the character didn't age the same. Like, it just, yeah, I understood that it's years later, but it wasn't like, it takes a long time for someone to look different.
yeah. I
Like,
know.
when you look
but
at your friends' pictures from when they were
But
young.
sometimes you just forgive it. It worked with like Dario
Yeah,
and Game of
and like I
Thrones
said,
and stuff like
it
that.
did work for Game of Thrones.
Like they just
and that,
replaced
but-
the mountain how many times? 5 times they replaced
Yeah,
the
and
fucking
it didn't
mountain?
work in that.
It worked with the
like-
last one was the best one. That's
But
fine.
you didn't care about it, and that's the thing. But you didn't care about.
I
the
didn't care about Dario either. If the character's good, the character's good. I
Yeah.
think
Well,
it
I
kinda
will
worked.
say this. Let's take an example from Game of Thrones with just the adult casting, for example. Like, you look at Peter Dinklage in season 1 versus season 4.
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, and he looks significantly aged.
He looks
Now, granted, he's
significantly
older,
aged, yep.
but at the same time, they have gifted. The whole show is based around gifted makeup artistry about making people look like fucking zombie clickers, stalker
Agreed.
things. So you're telling me
Agreed.
you can't age her or make her look more appropriate?
I mean they
a
made
lot of times yeah.
Scorsese made De Niro look like 57 years younger in the Irishman. I think they can do it. I mean, they could do it if they wanted to. I mean, like they've made Mark Hamill look like young Luke
I think-
Skywalker and some things.
Part of the problem is like, if you watch any 80s movie, take Grease for example, and look at the teenagers in high school, they're all well in their fucking 20s.
I mean, look at
Late
90210.
20s.
90210, you get a
Yeah.
bunch of 30-year-olds and stuff too.
Dude, I mean, I really do think you could have, regardless if you had picked that girl that everybody has mentioned before, who I even completely agree looks exactly like her and would have done a phenomenal job, who auditioned for it and didn't get it. I think that you could have found somebody who was 25, who could play, maybe not 14, but maybe 16, and then age her to her appropriate age. And someone who's youthful but could still be aged up appropriately and look to be gritty and stuff.
I think
But it feels like I'm just like, when I watched even like the scene where like Ellie is hooking up with Dina, it looks like Dina is sleeping with like a 13-year-old.
I think the problem is the person that they should have cast, if they didn't decide to recast, should have been someone that can convincingly, not necessarily, this isn't even just specifically about the acting or the person, it's about someone that could do the transformation, that could make themselves look like they've gone through 5 years of training and rugged and emotional stuff, and actually create some sort of change, like in the way that an actor like Edward Norton could display something like that on screen, where he could be the same person in multiple generations. Like he pulls that off in like American History X, for instance, where you're seeing him in different stages, and he's very convinced in all different stages 5 years ago, and then how he's developed and all that sort of stuff. And I think you needed someone similar in the Ellie role that could kind of pull something like that off, that really could show some sort of transformation. And I think that's the biggest missing piece with this casting beyond anything else, is that Bella looks if the 5 years later stuff, she looks exactly the same as the stuff that was at the beginning of that flashback. There's no discerning difference in her appearance.
I heard somebody else say this, so it's not an original thought, but I heard somebody say that they were hoping that she was going to pull a Millie Bobby Brown
Yeah.
and just magically age 20 years in her face.
This last season of Stranger Things, it's going to be like Boys to Men now are like boys to middle age, like geriatrics. It's like the Stranger Thing kids are going to be in wheelchairs by the time the Duffer Brothers finish that damn series, David. You know,
boys in need of oxygen.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the point that Stranger Things kids are getting to at this point.
But I will say though, like, I don't think she does a good job at being mature and convincing me that she has this hardened past and that she's seen things that you can't unsee. Because
Agreed.
keep in mind, it's not just like,
That's how
I mentioned this before, I think in one of the previous, like in last season, where it's like, dude, you were trained to be a soldier by your world government. Then you were absconded away with.
By
then
the Fireflies.
You saw a child get bit and attack you and get murdered inches from your face. And then his brother shoots himself in the head. And then you are traveling along. You're running into clickers. You're running into these gangs. You're seeing people just lie, cheat, beg, borrow, and steal. They're out for blood. There's all these things. And it's like, and you show zero survival acumen.
Oh, zero.
And
Zilch.
Zip. No, it's ridiculous.
But that's how they've written her for this, and that's how she's playing it. That's all the scenes have required is for her to act like a little child. And even in those scenes where she's out on patrol with Dina or out on patrol with whoever, she's still acting like a little child.
But like one of those,
that begs the question. That was the direction she was given and the way she was told.
But she pulls it off like one of those childs, like in a Bam Bam way, like like when you see those little kids.
Yeah, it's bad, but
unreal. No, I mean like on Reels, or it's like where you see like a little kid playing a drum set really well or something. You know, like she's like a little kid doing it, but she does it well. What were you saying, Joe? I'm sorry.
Yeah, she is.
And
she's being told to pretend to be a child, and that's what she's doing, and it's coming off that way.
Sorry.
And it doesn't work for the show. But
if you can kill people and you can fuck people and you have done horrible things in this world and you've gotten almost eaten alive multiple times
and almost raped,
like, I'm sorry, there should be some grit. In you.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it
agree.
Should be hardened.
I agree. And I imagine Bella having, like, they told them not to play the games, right? But they did anyway. And, like, I can't help but think the reason they told them not to is because Bella's probably going to sit down and be like, you sure you want me to act like a 12-year-old again?
Yeah, this isn't Ellie.
This isn't Ellie.
Every
they didn't want to have that conversation with every fucking actor on the set that we're completely rewriting your character. No, Joel. You're not going to be a badass until only one episode of Badassism.
Now, go for it. Go for it, David. I was just gonna say, everyone, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to The Walking David. David, I'm gonna get to some super chats and stuff like that. But final points. Go for it, David.
Okay. Final point, kind of in response to what Joe was just saying, is it's like, I've said this already. Other people have said it too, but this show, frankly, just has like a man-hating problem. They write all the guys as like helpless, unable to survive, they're emotional, making weird decisions. They're in therapy. They're getting snapped at by their wives. They're completely without agency. They can't get this little girl under control because even though she's 20, she's acting like she's 11, and she looks like a little kid. And they're letting the two little girls go into a building to go after a clicker, even though they have two fully grown men and another woman who is actually in charge, and they're just letting them do it. And it's like, so every character is treated to be a moron, And then the only time Ellie is seen to be smart is when she is talking down to Joel. And then in every other scene, Dina is talking down to her. And it's like, listen, man, you have dumbed down every single fucking character to, like, there's a saying that in a three-legged race, you can only move as fast as your slowest person.
Yep.
And you are slowing everybody down, okay? You are making everybody dead weight. This is not how it's supposed to go. This is not how people would be 20 years in. People would not fucking act this way because the people who act like children already died.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well said, David. David, make sure people check out The Walking David. David, I hope you can call in next week for the season finale as well. It's always amazing to talk to you, my friend.
You got it, you guys. Love you, boys.
Love you, David. That is The Walking David. Make sure, as I said, if you haven't, find Walking David wherever it is. If you're on the Reels, if you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube, find David. Check out his impressions, his thoughts on The Last of Us, and thoughts on other television shows. And seek out some of his independent films and some of his commercial work that he's done. David is also an actor, filmmaker as well, that's out there in the business, working hard. And, both Joe and I, especially me, I think Joe's just hoping Joe can be on set with me. Joe's my entourage, and I'm hoping one day I can get a walk-on one of the Walking David's movies. So that's the goal. And thank you so much for our subscribers. We got a couple super chats to check up on, and we also have some voicemails from Jay to check in on too here. And someone said that they liked the trailer I put out. I'll try to put a trailer out for these things as well. Yeah, The Old Men on the Block, that's another one. Nonfiction, and happy birthday nonfiction. I'm struggling with Bella. She either can't play a range of emotions on her face, or it's the script directing, not sure which. I think it's more the second, but it could be both. Kelly Johnson says Joe Dirty Locks fears the female Silver Surfer. When I first read that, I thought that he said that you look like the Silver Surfer. Are you at all excited for the Fantastic Four movie? Are you a Fantastic Four fan at all?
No, I'm not a Fantastic Four fan at all. I can't believe they're still trying to ram the shit down their throats.
This is what, the fourth time? Is it the fourth or the third time? I forget. Like, okay, we got
It's at least the third.
It's the third. Joe, thoughts on? Do you watch the Superman trailers? Joe's not really a trailer
I'm not a trailer person, but I keep coming across articles that are bringing up Nathan Fillion's, who should have played Nathan Drake, but that's a different discussion. Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern, and finally the Green Lantern has the powers he always needed to have and never had. And so I went to okay, so what's this? I want to see what these powers are, and I watched the trailer, and literally I just saw him standing there. It was like a literal half a second of him just standing.
But he might do stuff in the movie.
Any other powers that were attributed to him in the trailer, I don't know how you fucking could have told how you could tell from that trailer. And maybe I watched the wrong trailer. But I don't know.
He might do stuff in the movie at some point. I will say I am looking forward to Secret Wars whenever that comes out, or the next Spider-Man movie. And I'm looking forward to the new Superman movie. I think it looks good. We do need Joe reaction trailers. That being said, I've done those before with Joe. And this is Joe's in a reaction trailer. Is this over yet? What are we doing?
Usually they're too long. Usually they show you the best parts of a movie.
What are we doing?
And there's no context to any of it.
I want to put on the Dunkin' Egg trailer for us to watch right now. I can't play it live forever, but you and I could each put it on and watch it.
The day I had it with trailers, let me tell you what the problem with trailers is there was a trailer to a movie. I saw a trailer to a movie at the theater, right? And I was there with I forget who I saw the movie with, right? But the trailer was for Taken.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a kick-ass part in the fucking trailer where he's torturing the fucker in the basement, right?
Yep.
And he's electrocuting him and all this shit. And in the trailer, he stabs him through the tops of both of his knees down into his shins, right? At the same time. And then, so I remember talking to Larry, oh yeah, I want to see this movie, talking to my dad. I want to see this movie. He's like, yeah, I want to see this movie. So we both went to the movie. Me, him, and Katie. We went to go see fucking Liam Neeson in Taken.
They stole his daughter. You got to see
And we watched the movie. We come out of the movie, and I'm like, that movie was great. I love that movie. That was good. I enjoyed that. And Larry goes, you know what? I'm pretty sure that scene where he stabs him in the knee wasn't in the movie. They took it out.
Yeah, they cut it. They put
And
it in the trailer.
It slipped by me, but it like as soon as he said it, I was like, holy shit! He didn't do it.
So
they
that ruined
that moment. That ruined trailers.
That ruined
forever.
trailers for you. Oh.
And then on top of that, like
they ruined your binky.
Flash forward a decade, and I'm reading an article about that Beatles movie that wasn't a Beatles movie. It was the kid that
this is
that rewrote all the.
I Am There.
He rewrote all the Beatles songs, right? Like the Beatles didn't exist, but he could remember all the Beatles songs.
Yeah.
And so he became really famous. And in the trailer that they showed, I forget, maybe it was like
wasn't Heath Ledger in that movie, I think, or something? Maybe.
No, it was some Indian kid played like the main star. And
In a World. What's this?
I don't think that was the name of it either.
Fuck off.
But anyway, they showed a pop star. It was like either Rihanna or that girl that lives on the fucking Nantucket there, the big one, the blonde. I don't know her name. Taylor Swift. It was in the trailer, but they removed her part from the movie altogether, and people had gone to see the movie because that person was in it, and they had removed that person from the movie entirely, and they sued. They said, I went to see the movie because my favorite music star was in the trailer for this fucking movie. And I went and I spent the money on this movie, and you removed her. You cut her from the movie.
They used to do that.
And that's fraud.
They used to do that with certain scenes. There's like a scene in The Goonies. We're talking about The Goonies, for instance, where there is a octopus that's you can only see in the TV cuts. There's scenes in Airplane, and they could kind of remember all those movies when they were on TBS or something. You'd see those extra scenes put on for the television cuts. It's really interesting. Some stuff's used in trailers that isn't used. Let's jump in the live chat a little bit. Take a couple.
But to use stuff in trailers that's not used in your theatrical release.
Oh, it happens a lot. It happens
a lot.
It happens a lot when
they do it with stars like that. They won their case because that's a fraud. You're pitching that this person
especially,
that you're paying to go see
especially with
someone
like Taylor Swift who brings her own crowd. So if she's in something, the Swifties want to see her. So she better fucking be there. It's just it's bullshit. You better at least show it for 5 fucking minutes or something like that. I don't.
Right.
Mame says I don't watch trailers because they spoil. We definitely need.
That's my main reason.
Yeah, Red Lips Clubs said, "Who's? I don't think it's a man-hating show. I have not seen that sentiment at all. They're also little girls. They're young women with
they
problems."
Are young women.
To David's point in the live chat, David's in the live chat. He can talk. Him and Anna can talk about that one. I won't have you read the books. Yeah, Heath Ledger was in, but I thought Heath Ledger was in a John Lennon movie or something like that too, where it's like where he's like talking to John Lennon and stuff. But I could be making that up. Fuck Otto. I think Superman looks good. I'm looking forward to Secret Wars as well. I think that should be kind of cool. Supergirl. I'm happy with Supergirl with Millie. But we got a couple more messages from Jay before we call this a stream. This is from our good buddy Jay. Let's see what Jay has to say.
I've got a very important question for you, too. This is a debate that has been going on over the internet for
I think he's going to ask us the gorilla one.
I was just about to say
weeks or months.
We already talked about this a couple of episodes ago, but we'll answer your question. Here we go.
But 100 men versus one silverback gorilla. Who you and Joe got? Later.
I got the gorilla. It depends. If the gorilla's bloodlusted, like full energy bloodlusted, and you know what I mean. People that talk about this shit know what I mean.
Don't people have that too?
Yeah, but people can be bloodlusted.
All right, and what if those 100 men are all NFL linebacker size men?
Make your case. Let me make my case, and you make your fucking case. The gorilla's kicking
and it's
their
100 fucking men. They jump on them.
What are they
going
do?
One at a time? Are we taking them?
What
Bruce
are they
Lee,
doing?
Fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme style?
No, most of them are going to be running and shitting their pants. Most of them are shitting their pants, and some of them are old men or kids or fucking small people.
No, because it's 100. No, we're not saying like 199.
100 random people. 100 random people. Random draw of people. 100 random men. Not a hundred.
No,
Not a
because
hundred
100
Anderson
random
Silvers. Not the
listen,
100 of our best. Not 100 Anderson Silvers or Hulk or fucking Andre the Giants or Big John Studs. Not
all
100.
right, so then no bloodlust fucking gorilla, and it could just be a random fucking gorilla, and it could be as small as the one that fucking smacked on the glass at the fucking
No,
zoo that
average
day.
size gorilla. Like that wasn't a silverback.
That was.
No, it wasn't a silverback.
Yes, it was.
I don't think it was. The one that kicked your ass. That
Yes,
would
it was.
that wanted to
Yes.
kill Joe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't sure. I don't think that was silverback actually.
Yes, it was.
Bloodlusted like on her
Made me
period.
shit my pants, but I would have taken that motherfucker.
Sonic, your boy says 20 dudes could take out the gorilla. So you're saying
I think so too.
how many people? You say like 50 people could take it? You don't think you even need the 100?
I think as long as you all went in at once, yeah. Whatever.
As Jackie sees, what if the gorilla's horny? I mean, that would be an interesting situation.
Like gorillas, don't get me wrong, those motherfuckers are strong and like.
Dude,
if you ever
I'm
find
just thinking
yourself
about
with one
think
man,
about
you
the
just
situation.
fucking let it do what it wants, and hopefully you live.
Dude, think about
or
this.
die.
Think about the situation though. Like 100 normal people against that gorilla. The first 10 to 20 people are just dead quickly. And then the other people have to not get scared and actually have to organize. 100 people can't organize like that. It's chaos. And the gorilla, like
100 people organize like that all the time. Think about every time you're on the fucking highway.
That's different.
Every time you drive down the street and stop at a fucking red light.
You think that's the same as 100 people organizing to stop a gorilla? This isn't the Friday the 13th game. It's not random people to stop
organize
Jason.
like that kind of shit all the time. Listen, people can organize all the fucking time.
Andrew said you definitely lose.
And
some.
listen. How many people does it take to poke a gorilla in the eye?
What's that gonna do? Piss it off?
I don't know, man. Eyes hurt when they get poked, man.
Yeah, you
I
want
don't care who you are. I don't care what size fucking gorilla you are. An eyeball's an eyeball,
Oh
man.
my God, you're foolish. You're gonna...
Listen. You have 10 people going for genitals, 10 people going for eyes. Everybody else is just fucking pile on. All pile
The
on.
gorilla's gonna be like, it's a party. Give me. It's like this is what I do for fun.
It'll get through it. Listen, they're built for quick bursts of a lot of energy.
Yeah,
Like, just like bodybuilders.
The truth of the matter is the gorilla would probably tire out
Tire out really fucking quick.
and give up and like in X. Anyways, let's do
By the time 30 or 40 of us were dead, and the last 60 or 70 would certainly be fucking wearing gorilla finger necklaces
and
having gorilla hand ashtrays and shit.
let's see. Well, let's check it. Let's
As horrible as that are.
let's check it.
I still think the first Fantastic Four was pretty good, but all the rest of them got a little bit like progressively worse. Like the second one was like maybe like the first one was like a B minus. The second one was like a C minus to a D or whatever. And then the third one was just like, I only watched that one once. I was like, why did I like that? This kind of sucks. I think I fast forwarded it through some
I'm
of
with
it.
you on that one.
Like,
Of what?
Like,
I'll
it
tell
was
you.
just kind of stupid. Like the last one. I hope this next one's better. But considering Marvel's starting to not have really good movies anymore, that's not hopeful. All right, later.
Yeah, I mean, I actually am an apologist for that first movie, the Fantastic Four movies, the one with the first one, just because I like Michael Chiklis and the Nip and Tuck Julian Moore, and I thought he was an okay Doom, but they weren't great movies, but they were more like good sci-fi channel movies. I would give it like a C+ kind of thing. The second one I couldn't get through, the Silver Surfer one. I thought that was pretty trash, and I don't like what they did to Galactus. And the next one, the one with Miles Teller and stuff, I couldn't even get through that. Like that just was a tough watch. This one does look better. It looks like it's in a better tone, I'm at least interested in it, but I'm more when it comes to Marvel at this point, I'm more interested in the big concept ones that are interesting comic stories or things that I know, like Secret Wars or anything Spider-Man kind of grabs my interest, or anything X-Men, just because I kind of like both those things naturally. But in the Daredevil series, like I'll look where if you give me Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox in something, I'm going to be invested.
At this point, aside from like
Daredevil counts, Joe.
The new Superman movies got me. Daredevil and Punisher have me. and that's as far as like I don't care if I never see another Batman movie again. I don't think Batman's ever going to excite me again.
It's been too many.
Same with Spider-Man, same with X-Men, same with most of the Marvel stuff. I'm excited for the new DC movie because of Peacemaker, right? And I'm excited to see this new take, Super Dog.
You're not a little interested in Batman stuff because of the Penguin series?
I'm more interested in things like that, in like the Venom story, Joker, Penguin. Those were kind of cool offshoots. Like
I would go further than that with the Penguin. I would say
I watched fucking Kite Man.
I would say the Penguin's not just. I think the Penguin was beyond just okay. I think the Penguin was excellent. I think that was one of the best things DC's done in years.
Like, I'm kind of more interested in like offshoot superhero shit. I'm not completely soured on it, but I just want something more than just. I am superhero fatigued.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
No, John Haymaker. Yeah. John Haymaker, you're absolutely right. It's actually John Haymaker says the Penguin series is more of a mafia show than a Batman show. Yes, yeah. It was the most mafia thing that we've had in mainstream audiences since The Sopranos. It's almost like, or since maybe The Irishman or something like that. But it's like we actually got a good mafia show again that had some sort of, and it wasn't like The Sopranos. It just had that mafia show DNA to it, and it actually really worked. And it had one of my favorite actresses on it too, so I really enjoy her, which I just watched The Wolf of Wall Street again today, and I forgot that she was in it. She plays the first wife. Okay, everyone, we're gonna start to wrap this up. Joe and I will be back next week to talk about the season finale. Joe, are you excited for next week? Are you excited for it to be done, or are you excited to see how they finish it?
Both.
Both.
No, I'm not excited for it to be done. It should be going another 6 or 7 episodes.
Yeah, and I'm not excited for it to be done because I feel like I only talk to you when we have a show to talk about. So we should continue to randomly do these podcasts after next week, and try to find another show to talk about, or do a movie every week. You know, try to do something every Sunday, pick a movie every week to do or something, or not every week. We don't have to be as adamant to it.
They drop the movies on Friday nights on all these streamers.
So maybe on a Friday night we'll do it sometime.
I think there's a new show coming out called Murderbot.
Oh, I've heard about that. I tried the new Sawyer show from that's on. We got a quick call, Joe. Let's get a quick call. Yep. KP, I'm sorry to do it at the end of the show, but we're just wrapping up. But KP, if you have some stuff to say, welcome to the show, buddy.
I'm just saying good night, good evening, good day to everybody. Good day to you, Joe. I see the locks are loxing long and lustrous, and I love it. You know what I mean? I love to see our Caucasian brothers and sisters in the dreadlocks. It looks amazing. And I didn't want to go a damn show today because I'm kind of pissed off about it. But you guys bad talking for a good 2 hours. That was fucking fun.
Oh, thank you. We promise you that we try to be even half as exciting as this episode was tonight, KP. This was riveting television tonight, KP.
You would have loved us back in the Game of Thrones days, 4-hour podcast.
I think Joe agrees.
Yes, absolutely. I think he does too, KP.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
Oh, KP, we thank you so much. You're the fucking best, buddy. KP is the fucking best, buddy. Thank you so much. And Kelly Johnson adds, Phil, could a Roberts Rebellion movie resurrect Game of Thrones? This is my thing about this. I said this last night, and thank you so much for the super chats tonight.
You gotta go back. Go back before the Targaryen invasion altogether.
My thing, Joe, and I said this on Tony's stream last night too, I think if you really want Game of Thrones to be a huge success again, you need to separate yourself from Game of Thrones. You need to not put the title of Game of Thrones on it. Do a song, A Song of Ice and Fire as the under initial in it, and just produce it and convince the mainstream. I'm not talking about Song of Ice and Fire fans, people like us, mainstream audiences, that it's not Game of Thrones, because most of the people that watched Game of Thrones and felt hurt by it won't give it another chance. You're not going to get them again.
To be before, like if they went
don't
back,
care. They don't. That's what Dunkin' Egg is. They don't. I mean, it's before
the Dunkin' Egg is still in the 300 years of Targaryen, right? That 300 years.
Yeah, fair.
Everybody knows that 300 years. We got the Targaryen history one going on now. We're going to have the Dunkin' Egg shit. We have the whole Game of Thrones up to the Roberts Rebellion. And they've talked about the fucking Great Conquest a million fucking times. Now, you can know that's going to happen at some point. But if you take this, and these castles are all built, well and built and brand fucking new, like before Targaryen showed up. Like, I'm talking like maybe even before Harrenhal gets built, or at the start of when Harrenhal the first time is being built. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You bring it back that far and get into some of the real old lore and White Walker shit and weirdlings and wildlings and fucking the face carved trees and all that shit. You get that deep, you get that deep into that universe and that much far back in history, I think you have a winner on your hands.
Maybe
anything that involves in the Targaryen is going to automatically bring up. You're already going to have names you still remember. The Starks are still around, right?
So
the Martells are still around,
ultimately,
right?
we're saying the same thing in different ways. That you need to clear the decks and start fresh.
But you have to. But you can do it by going either that far back or starting 100 years in the future.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we need weirdlings. I think Joe said weirdlings, which is, I think, should be a thing. If it's not a thing already, it should be a thing. Weirdlings. I need to take a picture of that on the screen because I want to remember that. Weirdlings should be a fucking word. We need the Aegon's Conquest with the weirdlings. That's what we want.
I want pre-conquest shit that talks about, well, Valeria is still alive. Like, and Valeria is ruling Essos. Give me a Valeria show. Give me a show that's about Valeria where the Targaryens aren't even a noble house yet.
Yeah, Joe, I'm not against what you're saying here. Your Game of Thrones recaps were so fun back then when the show started getting lazy. We'll be talking about this shit. We'll be talking about Dunkin' Egg and Night of Seven Kingdoms stuff as well. So we hope we can recapture some of our magic from our Game of Thrones days. Joe, you raised a good point. I saw your message, Jay. I don't know if I want to cover Mr. Beast stuff and that kind of shit. But what we might do is do some reactions to some other videos, like big popular videos and things like that. I'd love to see Joe's direct reactions to that. But the problem now is it's hard. You can't play anything. Like, I couldn't even watch a Saturday Night Live special with it on the background. The video got flagged, and I got a copyright strike. So I have to be very careful with the fun these days. They need a Hot Buy show. Excuse me. They definitely need a Hot Buy show. I think that's necessary. I need to go because I need to get up tomorrow morning at 6 to drive my cousin to a medical procedure. But I will be back. I think
colonoscopy.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Like when you say that, everyone knows what it is right now. Yeah. But my cousin is somewhere drinking a liquid and pooping out his pants.
I was joking. I had no idea.
Oh, it's totally.
Like, you're of a certain age and you need a ride to the doctor.
It's totally. My cousin Big Dave has. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already. Speaking of my cousin David, if you haven't already, and the Alec Baldwin movie, the one that he shot someone on, was it Rust? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's Rust.
My cousin David is a very small piece, but is a producer on that film. So by seeing it, you're helping my cousin David get 50 cents in a check in the mail somewhere. But you can find his name. Well, it's a name.
How did he get involved in producing?
It's a long, David.
He just threw out some money, huh?
Yeah, he did. He wanted to invest.
He did well for himself.
He has his moments, but he wanted to invest in something, and so his name is in the credits of Rust.
Nice.
So I'm.
Well, tell him to fucking hook us up.
I mean, what do you think?
That was a production.
What do you think we're gonna fucking try? What do you think we're fucking trying here, dude? What do you think? Why do you think I'm taking him?
Get him while you got him on the ride home.
Yeah, why do you think I'm driving him tomorrow, man? You know,
After he's all loosened up.
Don't blow up my spot. The good thing is I know he's never watching me talk for 2.5 hours to get to this point to hear me. No, I'm kidding, David. Yeah, he'd find this all funny.
Oh yeah, one of the best parties we ever went to.
I meant to do an after show for. I meant do you like to do the after show for this show? Well, I'm gonna play Jay's message before we go because I thought I might have misread it. But actually, I want to try to get David on here because I think David would be very funny on the podcast. Actually, he's a very good talker and a very good out of all my cousins in different ways are good on the shows. All the other 3 have all been on. Actually, the other 5 have all been on. Emily and Pete and Craig and Alan and Gotti have all been on. David's the only one of my cousins that has not been on. So I do want to get David on the podcast to talk about something. Maybe I'll watch a movie with him and have a discussion with him about something. But here we go.
I should pick his mind about Rust and how he got involved and.
Yeah, no, maybe we can do something for that. So my cousin is to blame. Yes, you can blame David for what happened on set. It was all David's fault.
No, it wasn't. Come on now.
Okay, no, maybe. Fuck you out.
Why don't you do a podcast on the show, Mr. Beast Games or whatever? That was a good show. That show would like lead to a lot of interesting discussions, and like the games aren't really scripted off of something unless
he brings up a good point, Joe, though, that I've always wanted to do, and I've talked to Tony about this too. I haven't picked one, and I wouldn't mind doing it with you, with Tony, with everybody, with like some sort of reality show, competition show where people pick, where we are all invested in different people to win, and we're invested in the storyline of it. But it would have to be a good one, like The Traders. Or good, one of the good seasons of Survivor or something like that people were to watch, but something like
none of those words made sense out of your mouth.
I know, not for you. None of those words made sense. None of those words sounded good. Have you ever seen a reality show that you've liked?
Joe Schmo, season 1.
That being said,
that wasn't really a reality show so much. It was like a season-long prank on the guy.
That being said, you would more be on one rather than watch one. Like if you and I, we've often talked about us.
Yeah, like I do this show, but I don't watch any.
No, you would never.
Fucking one of these.
You would never watch a live stream or YouTube video of somebody ever, or listen to a podcast. I couldn't imagine you putting on a podcast to listen to.
No.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god!
Like sports talk radio is about as far as it gets for me.
Yeah, if you could turn on the radio in your car to work and turn on a podcast, I think you'd enjoy things like the Fly in the Wall podcast, which is like David.
I really wouldn't.
Yeah,
ultimately,
it's like David Spade and fucking Dana Carvey talking about Saturday Night Live with
no,
guests
and that's so one of the things I fucking hate is all these stars that. I have a podcast now. In my spare time between fucking $1 million movies, I get to suck all the fucking podcast fun from all of you guys because look how fucking much good it does you. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Call me. Maybe it's my own like.
No.
I find it really fucking annoying.
No, we made this world, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, let's invade it." I agree. That being said,
you have your place, and our place is talking about your fucking place.
Yeah.
Keep your fucking mouth shut and get in front of the fucking camera.
Just because you guys, no one's paying you to make movies anymore, get off our podcast airwaves. Right, basically. I hear what you're saying.
Like, go back to stand up if that's what you want to do.
No,
it's not just him.
Joe, I hate to say I agree with you, but there's also history topic podcasts that you might be interested in. Mysteries, murder mystery type stuff. I could see.
There's zero interest in it, actually, podcast wise.
Okay.
If I'm gonna watch it, if I'm gonna listen to a history thing, I'm gonna watch a history documentary, and then that's probably gonna suck and be boring. So I'd rather just read a book about history or. Like I actually watched a 6-part Genghis Khan documentary that's been.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Which was fucking awesome, and I really enjoyed it. So
No, I bet that would be quite cool. Jackie C says, great point, Joe. I don't give a fuck about celebrity opinions either. NPR is the only real radio I listen to. Reality shows, I must admit, I like game shows and reality shows when they're game showy. I don't like when we get into like people's sob stories and shit like that, but I like competition stuff, and that comes from my interest in game shows. And I think, to me, what I like in reality shows is when they feel like game shows. That's why I like Survivor, because it feels like it's more of a game show than a reality show to me. Or when I watch something like The Traders too, it feels like they're playing a game. Like it was like when we all went to an escape room, or it was like, or when I would go with you guys and go play like a local game of Traders or something like that. Or we've played that where we play like a murder mystery game, or we're playing Magic, or playing I haven't played it with you, but Cards Against Humanity or something like that. It feels more like you're playing a game with people. So that's what I enjoy about that. And then I enjoy some of the celebrity stuff, like Surreal Life, when it's like messy a little bit, like the VH1 stuff. That was
like, what's his name getting kicked off of fucking Mickey Rourke getting kicked out of the fucking Big Brother.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. The Brady, Flavor Flav, like that kind of stuff. Like My Fair Brady.
The chick on Rock the
Rocky,
Love, shit on the floor.
Yeah, Daisy, or no, it wasn't Daisy. That was Daisy of Love. But yeah, absolutely. The I Love New York, like all that stuff is fucking hilarious because it's almost like satirical to the whole thing. It like takes a shit on it all, but it's, I don't know, whatever. Different topic, different day. Everyone, thank you so. Whoa.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, please hit the like button.
Smash.
Yeah, smash it. Smash away, baby.
Smash it.
Smash. Thank you for those birthday.
And the subscribe button.
Thank you for your cards and letters and your birthday wishes. Joe and I will be back next week, but we may be back before, or I may be back before that, or Tony and I might be back on Tony's channel doing a podcast we've been talking about. But good night, everyone. Dead Girls, I still watch history documentaries too. My aunts and I are huge into stuff like Mysteries at the Museum too, which is a lot of mini historical stories connected to different museums. I love that stuff too, and that connects to the episode that we were watching
There's
today.
a great British lady that does a lot of small one episode documentaries and tours castles.
And I can't not pub my friend and friend of the channel, Nick Hodges, that does history buffs on YouTube, that does review, basically takes a historical movie and then will break it down or a television series and tell you how historically accurate or not accurate it is. And I can't recommend history buffs enough. And Nick and Claudia, who are work over there at History Buffs, they're great at what they do.
Yep.
And good night, everybody. Love you guys. And Dead Girls, thank you for checking on in. Sonic, your boy, Lou, Old Torf, Jay, John Haymaker, Kelly Johnson. Thank you for all the super chats, Kelly. You are fucking incredible tonight. Echo, Gigi, Andor is fucking phenomenal. I gotta say, even Star Wars haters would be tough to deny. Besides Joe, it would be tough to deny. Andor is pretty damn good.
Nice stuff. I'm sorry. I am going to give it. I promised my boss at work.
You give it another
her
shot.
husband loves it.
It's better.
And
It's good.
They really
Joe.
want me to give it another
It's
shot.
good.
So, and like I said before, I've only watched the first episode and a half.
Oh, come on.
And dude, like I said, I got no
Dude.
time for shit that just sucks.
It
because
doesn't suck,
It'll
though.
get better 6 hours from now.
It's good. It's good. You wasted your time on worse shit.
No, what?
I could name a few fucking things.
Name one.
I know. I'm not. No, it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate for live audiences. I can name a few, Joe. You spent way more useless hours in places.
Lawyer.
Yeah, I did lawyer you there, motherfucker. Occasionally, Joe, I can get Joe. Anyways, everyone, I'll talk to you next time. Peace. Oh, nice. 69, dude.